going forward.
No, you won't have the same results if you do that against this bunch. This is a very athletic team. They a lot of athleticism across the board, offense and defense, and they're up and coming program right now, and we're going to have our hands full today.
Florida Memorial University, the Lions out of Miami Gardens. They're in South Florida. They've taken the trip up to Middle Tennessee. The second ever meeting between Cumberland and Florida Memorial. The first back in 2021. A win for Cumberland, a 19-7 ball game in that matchup. But as you said, an up-and-coming program. This is a football program that lay dormant for many, many years. They started in 1946 to 1958, competing in the Southeastern Athletic Conference, and then lay dormant for over 60 years. The program just relaunched in 2020 after a 62-year hiatus. So still some kind of growth and, that maturation process for this football team. But they're off in the fifth year since relaunching, doing quite well. They were 6-4 a year ago, and we'll talk about the awkward start to this year they have had. They are currently right now 1-0-1.
Well, and like I said before, there's a lot of athleticism on this team, and if you just can recruit in your area, you don't have to. We all know that Florida is a talent-rich area as far as football players go, or athletes in general, and so, if you can just recruit a little bit around Miami or in the state of Florida in itself, you're going to put together some talent on a football team.
Should have an entertaining ball game for you this afternoon here at Noakes Lassiter Field, back in Lebanon for a second consecutive weekend. The Cumberland Phoenix at 3-0 on the year, taking on the Florida Memorial Lions out of Miami Gardens, Florida. Glad to have you with us here on the Cumberland Sports Network. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee. We'll continue on with our pregame coverage as we catch up with head coach Tim Mathis here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Coach, getting ready for your fourth matchup of the year back home at Noakes Lassiter Field. But looking back to last weekend real quick, that win over St. Andrews, I guess put simply, you're never going to complain about a victory, but certainly things that there were items to work on and improve, I guess, this week in practice.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is turnovers. When you play a really good football team, you're going to lose the game. So we have to eliminate those turnovers. And, sometimes it is you kind of play to your competition, but we've got to get mature enough to where that's not an issue. We play Cumberland football, and part of playing Cumberland football is we got to take care of the football.
Part of the, I guess, way college football is set up, where you don't have these preseason scrimmages, or you're not going out and playing other opponents, so just having to work amongst yourselves all that time leading up to the season. Now that you've seen your guys up against other competition the first 3 weeks of the season, how have you seen some of these kind of position matchups for you all kind of settle themselves, where they're really starting to make a name for themselves and claim a spot for this squad as you approach conference play?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely happening, and we got some guys that are banged up that we're actually getting back next week during the off week, which is awesome going into the conference. So it's really, really starting to set itself in stone about who we got playing where, and and then it's just, knock on wood, you hope you just don't have the big injuries or whatever. But it going into this game, it looks pretty good going forward. So it has been nice for some guys to step up and just take ownership in this, where they're at and what position they're in.
You welcome in Florida Memorial this afternoon, a team that's going to take quite the trip up from South Florida. And I guess they're off to a really interesting start to the year. One of the first times I'll ever say they're 1-0-1. They didn't get to finish a ball game last week, but where they're located there in South Florida, man, they've got some talent on this team. And even in just a game and I guess a portion of a game, they've really showed it to this point.
Yeah, and it's, they're in just a hotbed of national recruiting. So, and then also you get it where, some kids can go off somewhere, but they'll come back home, and they have that in the running back. They have that, if kids want to come back home, there's a spot they can go play back home, in their hometown that might, Miami might not want them, but there's a spot down there that they can play. So that's challenging just because, the football's really good there, but we're not too shabby up here in Middle Tennessee and the areas in Alabama and Georgia that we get kids. So we feel like we can play with anybody too. The biggest thing is if we take care of the ball, we think we have a good shot.
They play a brand of football, just seen through the first couple of contests here in 2024. They can put some points on the scoreboard, but at the same time, they've also given up quite a few as well. What have they showed on tape through the first couple of outings that the Lions present maybe some problem for you?
I mean, their offense is probably better than their defense, so that's kind of what you're saying. They score a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points. So, the biggest thing for us is, play sound defense. Maybe we can take one or two of their drives away from them and get them in a panic mode or whatever, and we just keep the ball and drive and able to put pressure on their defense. That's kind of what we want to do, is keep them off the field offensively and keep our offense on the field.
After your home opener last week, such a great crowd you had here at Noakes Lassiter Field. What are just kind of the guys saying about, one, all the people they had here to support them, and two, I imagine off to a 3-0 start. First time since you've done that since 2019. I'm imagining they're expecting another good crowd here today.
I mean, we definitely are, because I was pleasantly surprised, and really not surprised, because we are so well supported. It's great. Lebanon has been so great as far as supporting Cumberland football, and and that was with the threat of, are we going to have to build an ark or not? But, which never happened except for that, I guess, the third quarter there. But with it going to be nice weather this weekend, we hope we get a huge crowd, because it makes a difference. It really makes a difference. And, all those people screaming and cheering. I know we got to get a new headset on the sideline for our signal caller, because he was having trouble hearing Coach Brown, because all of our headsets just have one earpiece, and he was having to cover his other ear, which is a great thing. I don't mind that at all, because our fans can be the 12th player for us, and we look forward to that being the case this weekend.
That's head coach Tim Mathers with us here on the Cumberland Sports Network. We'll step aside and be back in just a moment with more pregame coverage, a 1-minute timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network. We're back on the Cumberland Sports Network. Christian Capozzi with you here as we count down to kickoff of today's matchup here at Noakes Lassiter Field. It's the Cumberland Phoenix taking on Florida Memorial. We're joined now with left tackle Will Sanchez from this Cumberland offensive line. Will, this is a O-line that's contributed to some big things on offense so far. You all averaging over 400 yards per contest, and really kind of picking up where you all left off on the ground last year, averaging over 250 yards per game. As an offensive lineman on this team, how much do you all just really love every time you hear one of those run calls come in, so you all can kind of get to work the way you have?
Oh man, I mean we've got everyone back this year. We lost Traylon Shepard. That was our All-American running back. But every time we hear that run call, we know it's coming. We know it's coming. Unless it's 3rd and 8, we know we're running the ball. So
the way to just the communication amongst that O-line, how has that just really built from a year ago where, as you mentioned, so many guys coming back, yourself, Brody, Trayvon, even Evans around. I guess he's kind of making a home for himself there at right tackle. But so many returners. How has that just helped communication-wise up front with you five?
Well, we had a new offensive coordinator last year, and so everything was new. Coming back this year, we knew everybody. We had strong relationships with everybody, so it's been great. We have Sailor Toll and Evan Jones over there at right tackle trying to make a home for themselves. But otherwise, communication is just like really telepathic. It gets between all of us, so.
With having Coach Mathis as your position coach this year, how has that really bolstered the group?
Well, there's some pros and cons to it. We lost another coach. That was my second coach that I lost my college career. But Coach Mathis has done a great job, and it's really nice having the head coach as the actual position coach. So
probably, I guess, maybe too, just knowing how much he is an O-line guy himself. Gets a little bit maybe tougher on you guys, maybe to say a little bit, or what's your take on that of how he kind of really pushes you all? Because I know he's talked real highly of how you guys have performed so far through the season and even going into it in the off season.
Oh yeah, well he expects a lot from us. He's a bit of an old-fashioned coach, so he likes when our hands in the dirt and we're moving people. And honestly, I love that because we keep running the ball. So
3-0 start for you guys to this season. First time you have started 3-0 here for Cumberland football since 2019. How do you guys, as just returners on this team and just really veterans up front, hope to continue this positive momentum you started here early this season?
Oh man, we're so ecstatic to have this 3-0 record. As long as I've been here, we've never started out like this, really. And it's just great. We've got great positive attitudes all around, and we're just going to continue that because we've got a big snowball rolling down the hill right now.
Florida Memorial travels to Lebanon today for this matchup. They played 2 contests, had one, I guess, end a little early last week. But what stands out about this crew that you're going to take on today?
They are definitely defensively sound for sure. Up front, secondary, they've got a lot of returners. Their secondary's all seniors. Definitely a good D-line. Going to have to watch out for, number 0, and we're just going to have to, dig deep on this one.
Will, I appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Will Sanchez here on our pregame coverage before today's matchup at Noakes Lassiter Field. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee here on the Cumberland Sports Network. The Florida Memorial Lions here in Lebanon to take on the Cumberland Phoenix. Bob, we touched about this before we went on air tonight. Or I should say today, this is a Florida Memorial team that can't get much more balanced than they have been through the first game and change, although they didn't finish one last week. They've been super balanced in the first couple outings of the year.
Well, like you said, one game they threw it, the next game they run it, or vice versa. But like you said, they have you can't get any more balanced than what it is. Exactly 189 yards average per game thrown, and exactly 189 yards running the football. So it's you can't just load up on one thing defensively. You got to be aware of what they're going to do and see. And I'm sure a lot of film studies showed us tendencies and things like that, but they put the work in. They'll be ready.
What both offenses have shown early this season, both Cumberland and Florida Memorial, is that they can run the football. For the Lions, Walter Wilbon will be a name we say throughout the afternoon. He's had 29 carries to this point, 229 yards, 5 touchdowns. Those 5 touchdowns tie him for the 3rd most touchdowns in NAI football right now. He's tied with Jeremiah Bryant. Bryant of Cumberland has 5 touchdowns as well. So I think we're in store for maybe a pretty good rushing attack from both sides, and maybe that kind of puts a little bit more emphasis on the fronts for both defenses.
You're exactly right. And then, like you said, then on the other side of the coin, they got Smith throwing the football, and he's thrown the ball for over 70%, completions on the day. He's only got one first down. He's thrown for one first down, 1 touchdown, and he's thrown for 378 yards. He likes to go to stud still. And he's got, 7 receptions for 135 yards. So, it's not kind of like choose your poison, I guess. You just got to be prepared both ways.
Yeah, Saquon Smith in the game that was short last week due to a weather delay that ending up in the game being called early. And not an entire game, went 19 of 21, 284 yards and a touchdown. So he's certainly able to throw the ball around the yard.
Well, that's accurate. 19 to 21. With that kind of yardage, you can't really think that a lot of it was short passes. If he's doing, I guess you could catch a 1 yard pass and run it 90 yards. But that's when you got a balanced team. That's hard for anybody to prepare when you're balanced.
We got a good ball game in store today in Lebanon. Florida Memorial, Cumberland, the matchup this afternoon. Looking forward to a good, tight contest here on the Cumberland Sports Network. We're going to step aside for a 1-minute timeout. When we return, we'll catch up with head coach Tim Mathis one final time to get his keys to today's ball game. It's a 1-minute timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Back on the Cumberland Sports Network, time for keys to today's ball game as the Cumberland Phoenix take on Florida Memorial. I'm Christian Capozzi, joined with head coach Tim Mathis. And coach, back to last week, one final time, you did get the win over St. Andrews there, but end of the day, those 4 turnovers, going forward, you have to limit those opportunities, and something, I guess, for as long as you've been here in Lebanon, and I guess especially this week in practice, you've always preached.
Yeah, and it's going to be huge importance today because they're it's a better opponent, and you can lose a game because of turnovers. So taking care of the ball is going to be paramount. Taking away the ball for defense is paramount. We got to be plus on the turnover margin, and I think if we do that and then time of possession, if we keep a hold of the ball and make sure we do something with that, get points out of it, I think that's for us. That's a recipe to taking home the win today.
Florida Memorial's got some playmakers on offense. Where when we talked about it earlier in our pregame coverage, the points they put up, even in a game that didn't technically get finished, they can make some plays. But trying to limit those plays by rattling to the football and making stops will be a big key and a point of emphasis today.
Right. I mean, that's it's what you want to do on defense is make them earn every down. Don't give any cheap big plays or whatever. Make them drive the length of the field, whatever it is, and get. Are they disciplined enough to do a 13, 14, 15 play drive? And, you want to try that to do that defensively is don't give up the big play. I think our defense, if we just play like we're capable of playing and don't give up big plays, I'm picking our defense every day.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Thank you. Go Phoenix.
That's head coach Tim Mathis with us here during our pregame coverage of today's matchup, the Florida Memorial Lions and the Cumberland Phoenix, just minutes away from this Week 4 matchup for the Phoenix. They're off to a 3-0 start for the first time since 2019. They opened up the season with a 35-28 at Missouri Baptist, followed that with a 38-14 win over Union, and then last week a 41-6 victory over Florida Memorial. Bob Lee, last week it was the run game that was really dominant in that matchup. We just touched on a minute ago about Jeremiah Bryant. He had 3 touchdowns. He averaged 8.2 yards per carry. But another name that we talked about last week that I think we're going to continue to bring up his name, Jacob Cornejo, in his college debut last week, 17 carries, 120 yards, averaged 7.1 yards per carry. I think he might have earned himself some more carries going forward.
Well, he came in here billed as a difference maker, and I was interested to see him take the field and see what he was capable of doing, and I was not disappointed. He runs the football hard. He runs. He can get you that yard that you have to have, or 2 yards that you have to have on a 4th and short, a 3rd and short. At the same time, he can bounce it outside and he can run away from you. He has got that rare quality of having both the speed and the power. And that's when you got that at this level, that's really, really, really helpful in putting together a good offense.
Passing game for Cumberland last week, Luke Holloway, 10 of 13, 152 yards. Of his 3 incompletions, 2 of them were picks, but he did surpass 3,000 career passing yards as a Cumberland Phoenix last week. But as Coach Mathis said, just got to make a few more better decisions with the football instead of putting it in harm's way.
Well, you know, he had a couple that I know he'd want to take back, and that's the first game that I've seen that. But Luke's got it going on. Luke has progressed very well in the 3 years that he's been here, and he's a kind of he's going to study the film. He's going to find out what he's going to evaluate, adapt, and overcome.
We're now going to throw it down to the field for today's opening prayer by Mayor Rick Bell, and then today's national anthem.
Thank you for their coaches, their teachers, everyone who has supported them up to this point. Most importantly, thank you for their family and friends who have helped them make it to where they are now. Be with all of us as we leave this place and go our daily lives. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen and friends of the community, please join our student athletes and coaches in honoring America in celebrating its freedom and those who protect it. Please remove your hats. Let us rise as one nation, one people for the playing of our national anthem, performed today by the Cumberland University Phoenix Marching Band.
That was the national anthem performed by the Cumberland University Marching Band and the opening prayer of today's ball game by Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. Getting close to coin toss and kickoff of this matchup between Cumberland and Florida Memorial. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee. Bob, let's talk a little bit about the weather here today. Last week we saw umbrellas out when we had a downpour in the third quarter. Today we have umbrellas out because it is a hot and steamy afternoon here in Middle Tennessee.
Well, there's no there's no chance of rain today, that's for sure. It's 90 degrees and it's there's relatively no breeze whatsoever. The flag is just laying limp right there, and it's not supposed to get any cooler as far as that goes.
And it cooled off for a couple weeks in the Middle Tennessee area, and then all of a sudden this week it is certainly the thermostat has certainly cranked up a degree or two, but that's certainly no wet weather all last week we were preparing for. It wasn't as much of an impact as we thought it was, other than a few minutes in the third quarter last week.
And we need the rain so bad, just not during a football game.
Yep, absolutely. The captains are making their way towards midfield. Cumberland dressed out in all maroon today. Maroon tops and bottoms with white numbers, a white helmet with the Phoenix logo on either side. And for Florida Memorial, they're wearing their white uniforms, white tops and bottoms with lions in orange across the chest and orange number, blue helmets for the visitors from Miami Gardens.
A lot of duplicate numbers. It's going to make it difficult for us today.
We'll try our best.
Yeah, you need to, like, if there's two number 13s, they need to have a D after it.
On the roster, on the uniform.
Yeah, that's right. Well, on the uniform.
Captains at midfield currently for both sides. Bob, if you have them for Cumberland, you can go ahead and share those.
Give you that. Like I said, Florida Memorial, they've got some of them are tucked their jerseys up underneath their shoulder pads, and the others are wrinkled up. I do know that they have Amari Taylor as one captain, and Omari Dixon is another. For Cumberland Phoenix, Luke Holloway, number 3, Jalen Brown, number 22, number 55, Jaden Jobe, and number 58, Brody Hall are your captains.
Still going through instructions from the coin toss, and now we'll have the official statement of it. So the Phoenix have won the toss and have deferred their option to the second half. Cumberland under the direction of head coach Tim Mathis. For Florida Memorial, their head coach is Bobby Rome II. Took the job in April of 2022. Coach Rome with some NFL experience. Played his collegiate football at North Carolina as a Tar Heel, and then went on with some opportunities in the National Football League with Green Bay, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. And get this, Bob, he played in Moscow for the Moscow Patriots in Russia. He was the only American on the team. He was their lone American on the team when he played there in Russia. He even had some coaching experience in Russia, but now for a few years there with Florida Memorial, he brings his crew here to Lebanon to take on Tim Mathis's team, the Cumberland Phoenix, who will get set to kick off in just a moment.
Well, if he played in Russia, I suppose that one of his attributes as a head football coach is communication skills, because it was hard to communicate there.
That is probably a very true statement. Getting ready to go here. Cumberland 3-0 on the year. Florida Memorial 1-0-1. This is the second time the two teams have ever met. Last time, September 25th, a win, or I should say September 25th, 2021, it was a Cumberland win of a score of 19-7. With so much change in the college landscape now, and with the transfer portal being a big part of it too, not many guys on both sides were around in this matchup way back when. Nick Burge for Cumberland, he played in that ball game. Florida Memorial had a defender or two that was listed there in the box score, but other than that, a lot of new faces since these teams met almost 3 years ago. The Phoenix will make their way out to kick this off to the Florida Memorial Lions.
Their
Lions will send 2 men back deep to return. They'll set up inside their own 10-yard line. It's going to be Jordan Grant along with Marcus Barthel. For Cumberland, new kickoff man this week, Muhammad Mansoureh. He is going to kick this one off. No Christian Carter, no Jack Cantner to kick this off. They're going to go with Mansoureh. He will approach the football, and we are underway here in Lebanon. An end-over-end kick towards the right side will be fielded at the 5-yard line by Barthel. 10, 15, 20, 25. He'll be stopped by Isaiah O'Neal just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Florida Memorial for their first offensive possession of the ball game. Here comes Sedquan Smith, their starting quarterback on the season, 30 of 41 passing, 378 yards and a touchdown. He is not much of a runner, 9 attempts for just 1 yard. He's completing 73% of his pass attempts. The starting running back will be Walter Wilbon, tight end Ivan Thomas, receivers Valee Washington, David Studstill, and Jalen Holly. 1st and 10 Lions from their own 29-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap, play action, back to pass. Looking, Smith will heave this one deep into double coverage. That ball is incomplete. A deep shot right between the hashes to David Studstill, but there were 2 Cumberland Phoenix defenders right there to make the play.
You're exactly right. Thrill Kill was there along with Eli Denton, and very well covered that time by the Phoenix.
The offensive line for Florida Memorial, Jordan Graham, Keon Dacus, Khalil Bradford, Ronaldo Siggers, and Justin Mack. 2nd and 10 now for the Lions after that deep shot right down the middle of the field. Like we said, this is a team that can do it in the air and on the ground. On 2nd and 10, Cumberland with a 5-man front. And now the Lions will reset the play with 20 seconds on the play clock. Snap, handoff. It's Wilbon, runs left side. Wilbon spins away from a tackler. A hard-fought run up to the 34-yard line for a gain of 5. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 after that stop made by Cannon Johnson. Lions right back on the football. They operate without a huddle. Quick snap. They screen it near side. It is caught in the flat by Holly. Holly to the 35, to the 40. He is pushed out of bounds on the Cumberland sideline around the 42-yard line. It will be a Florida Memorial first down.
Up-tempo offense, getting on the ball quick. They're not wasting any time at all. We don't have time to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage.
Brown made the stop for Cumberland. Now 1st and 10, Florida Memorial. Ball on the right hash of their own 42-yard line. 2 receivers left, receiver to the right side. Wilbon the back to the right of Smith. In the shotgun, snap, handoff, Smith, runs off left tackle. He's got room outside of the 45. Lowers his head and is popped at the 46-yard line. Coming up field and delivering the blow is Trayvon Dangerfield, but still a pickup of 4 for Walter Wilbon.
Dangerfield with a big hit right there.
This Lions offense will slow down at some point. We'll try to get the Cumberland defensive starters in just a moment. But now on 2nd and 6, another handoff. Wilbon runs left side, 50. There he goes, 45 to the 40. Steps out of a tackle to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5, and will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Memorial. A 54-yard touchdown score. But we do have a penalty marker that is on the Florida Memorial sideline.
I think a coach got ran over by an official on the sideline.
We will wait to see if this is a score that will stay or not. Currently, right now, it would be the Lions on top, 6-0, just a minute and 31 seconds into the ball game. It looks like this is going to be a touchdown for Florida Memorial.
The touchdown is good. Sideline interference. Florida Memorial. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So the touchdown stands for Walter Wilbon, a 54-yard score, his 6th touchdown of the season. And now they send out Oliver Robbins to try for 1. Snap put down by Smith. The kick is up, and Robbins' kick is good. A minute, 31 seconds into the matchup, we have our first score of the ball game. Florida Memorial strikes first, 7-0. Let's take a 30-second timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Back at Noakes Lassiter Field, the Cumberland Phoenix trail the Florida Memorial Lions early in this matchup. Christian Capozzi, Bob Lee with you. Reminder, after that touchdown, that sideline interference on Florida Memorial will back this kickoff back to the 20-yard line. They're trying to make sure they have all their ducks in a row before they boot this one to the Cumberland Phoenix. I believe that extra point counted. It still has 6-0 on the scoreboard, but we'll get to that scoring drive in just a moment after this kickoff by Robbins. The Phoenix have 2 men back deep to return, and Jarius Rogers and Trayvon Dangerfield. They stand at their own 15-yard line. 3-point stances for the entire kickoff team for the Lions. Robbins approaches, an end-over-end kick, left side of the field will be taken by Rogers from the 19-yard line. Jarius 20, 25, 30. 35-40, 45-50, down the sideline to the 45, and it's the kicker, Oliver Robbins, that has to push him out of bounds on the Florida Memorial sideline, but another excellent return by Jarius Rogers. He was averaging 37 yards per kickoff return entering today.
Hadn't missed a beat now. That scoring drive for Florida Memorial, Walter Wilborn rushes 54 yards for the touchdown. Oliver Robbins adds the extra point. That completed a 5-play, 71-yard drive. Time of possession, 1:31. So with 13:21 left to go here in the first quarter, it's Florida Memorial 7, Cumberland nothing.
That was right on Jarius' average. There was a 38-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10 Cumberland from the Florida Memorial 43-yard line. Luke Holloway in the shotgun. Snap, play action, throws left side, caught by Stevens at the 40, spun out of a tackle, and then caught from behind and stopped at the 36-yard line. Antoine Davis with the stop. It's a gain of 7 on the reception.
Bring up a 2nd and 3. You love being able to get a good gain on that first down and open up your playbook.
Holloway, the quarterback, joined in the backfield by Jeremiah Bryant. He's to the left of the redshirt junior QB. On 2nd and 3, Holloway fields the snap, handoff Bryant, runs between the tackles to the 35. Bryant in a rugby scrum, push forward. Going to have a Phoenix first down. He's caught from around the waist and driven backwards to stop the run by Kareem Roberts. But as I mentioned, it'll be another Phoenix first down up to the 32-yard line.
That's good for a Phoenix first down.
They stood him up about a yard after he, with about a yard gain, and that offensive line just pushed him down the field for the rest.
Tight end today for Cumberland's Carson Posh. Receivers Isaiah O'Neal, Nate Stevens, and Jarius Rogers. We'll talk about the O-line in just a moment. 1st and 10, Phoenix from the Lions' 32-yard line. Holloway, snap, give. That's Bryant. Not as much room to run this time. Hit around the knees and taken down by Linwood, the defensive lineman. Jeremiah gets a gain of 1 up to the 31-yard line, and it's now 2nd and 9. The O-line for Cumberland, up front left to right, Will Sanchez, Tylen Orr, Brody Hall, Trayvon Wiggins, and Sailor Toll at right tackle. On 2nd and 9, Holloway, they'll run it again with Bryant, tries to follow a blocker upfield and can't find any room to run. He's met by Jaden Haynes, the defensive lineman, for no gain. It's 3rd and long for the Phoenix.
Going to have to go to the air to loosen this thing up a little bit. They're bringing a lot of people in the box. They want to shut down the run.
Subs in and out for Cumberland. Timothy Friel, the receiver, will line up to the right side. Receivers, 3 of them on the left side of the formation. 3rd and 9, Holloway in the gun, snap, back to pass, looks left, now climbs the pocket, runs. Luke 30, outside to the 25, to the 20, Holloway to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and dives forward inside. Excuse me, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 6-yard line, but a big run by Luke Holloway brings up a Phoenix first down, a gain of 25.
Well, they pulled him up in the box for the first down and the second down. Then it was 3rd and long. They backed off the line of scrimmage, and when we got into our patterns, the pocket opened up, and Luke saw open field in front of him and did a really good job of running.
Phoenix right back on the football with 10:45 to play first quarter. They trail by 7. Holloway gives Bryant, runs left, nudges his way past the 5 down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from there for the Cumberland Phoenix. That run by Holloway, 25 yards. He's averaging 55 rushing yards per contest. 2 receivers to the left. Receiver to the right side for Cumberland is Kyan Maher. On 2nd and goal from the 4. They motion over past the tight end to the left side. Bryant to the left of Holloway. Now they send Maher in motion. Holloway snap, keeps himself, runs upfield, hit near the goal line, but dives forward into the end zone for a Cumberland Phoenix touchdown.
Needed that on this drive.
Luke Holloway's 4th rushing touchdown this season, and it draws the Phoenix within a point just less than 5 minutes into the contest.
Yeah, Florida Memorial scores early, and it's real important that we came back and answered with one of our own.
Cantner to try for point after. 10 for 10 on those this year. The snap's put down, that kick is up, and that kick is good. We're tied at 7, 10:02 to play first quarter between Cumberland and Florida Memorial. 30-second timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Florida Memorial score with one of their own as Luke Holloway scores from 4 yards out for the touchdown. Jack Cantner adds the extra point. That completes a 7-play, 43-yard drive. Time of possession, 3:27. 10:02 left to go here in the first quarter. It's Cumberland 7, Florida Memorial 7.
Mansoray to boot it once more for the Phoenix. Both sides have had the football once. Both sides have had rushing touchdowns. Two deep men for the Lions standing around their own 10-yard line. Mansoray approaches. It's a high end over end kick, this time to the right side of the kickoff return, and falling on the kickoff at the 15-yard line, it was Jordan Grant. He could not get to it in time, and when he left his feet, he grabbed it, and that ball is dead, and Florida Memorial will have it from the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's very effective on the kickoff.
Just kick it where they ain't. He fell down on it, and the Lions will have it 1st and 10 from their own 15, a tie ball game, 7-7, opening minutes here at Noakes Lassiter Field. As we're on the doorsteps of fall, it feels like summer here in Lebanon. With a high around the low 90s this afternoon.
Mother Nature just playing tricks on us.
Sun shining down here at Noakes Lassiter Field. 1st and 10. Lions see the Phoenix showing some pressure. 4-man front for Cumberland. Let's get those starters on defense in just a moment. On 1st and 10, handoff Wilbon. He went for 54 yards the last time he had it. This time goes for 3. 2nd and 7. The defensive line for Cumberland, Des Wallace, Joey Samples, Jaron Tatum, and Lance Matthews. Linebackers, Knox Watson and Boston Follis. Safeties, Cannon Johnson, Derek Taylor, and DeMarcus Brown. The cornerbacks, Trevon Dangerfield and Keon Thrillkill. There's an injured Lion after the run that is down where the play came to an end. And so we have a pause in the action as the medical staff out to check on an injured Florida Memorial player.
That may be Wilbon.
I think you're right. That is number 9. That was Walter Wilbon, the senior running back that was shaken up and now has to be helped off the field. He's walking on his own power and gets a nice applause from the fans in attendance. But, Bob, that's a note to take in because this is a Florida Memorial team with averaging 189 rushing yards a game. He has been a huge impact of that. He's got 229 yards through 2 games. Don't have to do much of the math there. He's responsible for a good majority of it.
He's the bell cow.
So they got a different back in there now behind Smith in the pistol formation. Turns, play action, back to pass. The lefty, high arcing pass downfield. It is brought in. A leaping grab by Studstill out past the 40 and down to the Cumberland Phoenix 41-yard line. First down on a high arcing touch pass by Sedquan Smith.
Yeah, like you said, he had a lot of touch on that. Receiver got behind our defensive backs.
1st and 10, no huddle. Handoff, running right side, it's Barthol. Marcus Barthol with a nice patient run out past the 45 down to the 46-yard line. Gets half the distance on 1st and 10, now 2nd and 5. A lightning quick offense. They are back and ready to go on 2nd and 5. Handoff, Barthol runs between the tackles, ran into Joey Samples, but keeps on trucking as he gets past midfield down to the Cumberland 49-yard line, and they are going to signal to move the chains. That's the Lions' first down. They are operating in a hurry. Wilbon back in there now in the backfield. No, excuse me, that's a different back. But with a carry to the 45 down to the 44-yard line. That time it was Charles Phillis, the senior running back, has another gain of 5, and here comes the Lions just trucking along.
They just don't give you any breathing room. Step on your throat on offense.
So they do sub a player out here now. It would be an opportunity for Cumberland to sub one in, but they choose not to. On 2nd and 5, hard count by Smith. Now looks over to that Florida Memorial sideline. 8:10 to play first quarter. We're tied at 7 apiece. On 2nd and 5, play action to throw once more Smith. Another deep shot, left side, looking on the far sideline and running out of real estate. The receiver caught the pass, but is out of bounds. It is incomplete. Trying to keep the toes in bounds. It was Jalen Holly. Would have been his 5th reception of the year, but instead it's incomplete, now 3rd and 5.
Well, Sedquan Smith has impressed me throwing the football so far. He's got good touch on the ball, throws a good tight spiral. and he's been able to find some receivers open.
Cumberland able to make some substitutions into the game as Jalen Brown. He did not play last week against St. Andrews. He's in the lineup now, possibly to rush the passer. On 3rd and 5, Cumberland showing pressure. They're going to send 4. Back to pass Smith, looks right side, throws out, it's caught at the 30, 25, and out of bounds inside the 20. That was Jalen Holly. He did not catch it on the left side of the field. He caught that one and got down to the Cumberland 19-yard line. A first down on a big pitch and catch on 3rd and 5.
Don't have a lot of answers right now defensively. They're just methodically moving the football down the field, through the air, on the ground.
25 yards on that reception. 1st and 10 from the Phoenix 19. Wilbon now back in the game. He's to the left of Smith. Wilbon takes the handoff, runs left side immediately. Wilbon cuts it up at the 15, tries to make a move out of a couple tackles, and finally wrestled down at the 11-yard line. He got away from Follis, but finally bringing him down was Knox Watson. It's a gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
Cumberland trying to get a few personnel changes in.
Now 8 minutes into the matchup, tied at 7, but Florida Memorial looking to retake the lead. They have a bunch formation to the right side. Snap, Wilbon runs between the tackles, another missed broken tackle, and Wilbon takes advantage of it inside the 10 down to the 9. It'll be 1st and goal Lions off that 2-yard run by Walter Wilbon. The Ohio University transfer. He's right back on his feet and lines up to the right of the quarterback. He has a handoff and going backwards on the run. Wilbon slung down by Dez Wallace. Dez has his 5th tackle for loss this season.
Dez continues to make big plays at big times.
Bob, I think this Cumberland sideline is not pleased about not just the tempo of this offense, but it doesn't seem like they're getting set all the way before these snaps.
You're exactly right.
On 2nd and goal, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now Sedquan Smith in the offense looks over to the far sideline. 10 seconds on the play clock, 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Smith in the gun, claps his hands, takes the snap. The lefty fires left side, caught at the goal line and steps in for a Florida Memorial touchdown. David Studstill, his 2nd receiving touchdown this year. 2 possessions, 2 scores for the Lions out of Florida Memorial University.
Well, they kind of made that look easy that time, and the wideout on that side did a really good job of showing you moving to the inside and then turn around and cut to the outside for the opening.
Robbins for point after. He was 7 of 7 entering today. Trying to start the year 9 of 9. Snap put down. Robbins' kick is up, and that kick is off the hood of a car in the parking lot and good. 14 for Florida Memorial, 7 for Cumberland. 5:55 to play in the first quarter. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. We'll bring it back for more Phoenix football coverage here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Oh, excuse me. Florida Memorial on the scoreboard has said Quan Smith completes a pass to David Studstill for a 9-yard touchdown. Oliver Robbins adds the extra point, completes an 11-play, 85-yard drive. Time of possession, 4:07. So 5:55 to go in the first quarter. It's Florida Memorial 14, Cumberland 7.
Kickoff by Robbins will be taken by Rogers at the 8-yard line. Outside, Jarius goes 10, 15, 20. He is not going to make the 25-yard line. He is gang tackled by a couple Lions, and the Cumberland Phoenix will have it on offense, down by 7. Bob, you would love to match and have a similar drive that they had last time, but at the same time, I feel like you got to give your defense a breather just so they can kind of regroup and figure out a game plan for this up-tempo offense that Florida Memorial has presented them.
Absolutely, because like you made the comment earlier, our defense with this up-tempo offense, they're not having time to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage. They're getting the ball snapped before they get set.
The Phoenix back out on offense. drove down the field. It was a Luke Holloway 4-yard rushing touchdown. First time they had it. They take over on this drive from their own 22. In the pistol, Holloway, play action, looks left side, caught by O'Neal on the boundary. Isaiah to the 30 is slung down on one of those hip tackles where they thrust him into the air and slam him down. No flag on the play by the tackle of Marcel Blocker. It's a gain of 9 up to the 31-yard line, 2nd and 1. That's kind of dangerously close to one of those illegal tackles that they are trying to eliminate out of the game. 2nd and 1. Holloway with Bryant to his right. Holloway gives Bryant, runs between the tackles. Jeremiah 35 to the 40, bowls his way forward, lost the football. There's a fight for it at the 45-yard line, and Florida Memorial has recovered the loose football. Had the first down yardage as they're still trying to peel men off the pile. Did Cumberland get back on that? Oh, my goodness, the Phoenix have gotten back on that football at the bottom of the pile.
There's no telling what goes on.
Jeremiah Bryant has gotten back on the football. He was not the first one there, but he got in on the act, scooped it away from the defender. It thought and looked for sure that it was going to be a Florida Memorial possession. Instead, the Phoenix keep the football and have it 1st and 10.
He didn't want to walk to the sideline after giving up the football.
What an effort just to get it back.
You're exactly right.
1st and 10, Phoenix from their own 45. Bird's now the back in the backfield. Bryant will get a breather. On 1st and 10, Lions showing pressure. It's a handoff. Burge, and Nick is buried in the backfield.
You're going to lose a yard.
3 Lions back there. The first, Amari Taylor. It's 2nd and 11 with 4.5 minutes to play first quarter. Cumberland down by 7. On 2nd and long, they send Rogers, the receiver, to the left. Isaiah O'Neal, the receiver, to the right. Holloway in the shotgun. 4-man defensive front for Florida Memorial. Another give to Burge, and Burge is buried. Loses yardage back to the 41-yard line, but there are flags down on both sides of the field.
Once he got the handoff, he had nowhere to go. Florida Memorial with a lot of penetration getting into that backfield.
There's a flag down on the Cumberland sideline and a flag down on the Florida Memorial sideline.
Yeah, they're going to decline it.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 3rd down.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 14. Phoenix did not have enough men on the line of scrimmage. And now must get to the Lion 45-yard line to move the chains. 2 receivers to either side. Holloway in the gun. In motion, Nate Stevens to the left side. Snap, Luke, Florida Memorial sends 4. Holloway climbs, runs, 40, outside 45, trying to get to the boundary to the 50. He does to the 45 and is super close, and they're going to give him a Cumberland Phoenix first down. He needed 15 and got 16.
What a play. I thought he was dead to rights back here before he got to the 50, and he did a good job of getting outside that would-be tackler, getting around for the first down.
He set the defender up, ran towards the middle of the field, and then a foot race outside. Luke Holloway won it and gives the Cumberland Phoenix a new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the Lion 44. Ball on the left hash. Holloway, snap, give, Burge. Nick, a little room to run this time, steps out of a tackle to the 40, and Burge dances his way down to the 38-yard line. That's where he stopped by Terry Smith. After the first 2 handoffs, nice running room that time for Nick Burge.
You did a good job of being patient and waiting on his blocks to develop.
It's a gain of 7. There is an injured Lion that's still in the offensive side of the formation. It was Antoine Davis that was slow to get up, and now he's down to a knee. And now he's tying his left shoe. So pause in the action with 3:26 to play here at Noakes Lassiter Field in the first quarter. Florida Memorial, the visitors from Miami Gardens, leading 14-7. 4th offensive possession of the ball game. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns to this point.
Wilbon now with, he's got 7 carries right now for 76 yards already here in this first quarter. Smith through the air 4 of 6 for 65 yards and a touchdown.
Bob, this offense for Florida Memorial is averaging 9.8 yards per play. I mean, they're almost right at a first down every time they snap it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, you know, we got to find out how we can make adjustments and, you know, on the fly, because we're not being able to make those adjustments before the ball's getting snapped.
Still a pause in the action as they're out to attend to Antoine Davis, the sophomore linebacker out of Miami. And you don't have to go too far through the roster, Bob, to just see where most of this roster is formulated out of. It is a good portion out of South Florida.
Oh, absolutely. And why not, with all the talent you got in that state?
Davis being helped off the field, now makes his way off the field as he carries his left shoe. 2nd and 4 for the Phoenix. Bird still the back out there. He's to the right of Luke Holloway with 3:26 to play in the opening quarter. Receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Caden Hatchett lined up super close to Carson Poss, the tight end. Now they're both going to shift over to the right side of the offensive line. On 2nd and 4, Luke takes a snap, give Burge. Nick hit, still trying to fight forward, spins away to the 35 and down to the 31-yard line. He was hit quickly but stayed on his feet and kept trucking forward for a Cumberland Phoenix first down on a gain of 7.
Well, they had him by the jersey and tried to sling him around, and when they did, they kind of threw him forward.
1st and 10, Cumberland. Now less than 3 minutes left in the first quarter. On this toasty afternoon in Lebanon. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Holloway with Burge offset to his right. Luke back to pass, throw left side, low one. It's Timothy Friel that goes down to a knee and hauls it in. He's ruled inbounds at the Florida Memorial 26-yard line. Gain of 5 as Friel has his 4th reception of the season. It's going to bring down the yards per catch. He was averaging 44 yards per catch entering today. That's because he had a 73-yard touchdown and a 50-plus yard touchdown earlier this year.
Yeah, that kind of average doesn't usually last long.
2nd and 5. Another shift of Posh and Hatchett to the right side. On 2nd down, Luke gives Burge. Gets past the 25 and lowers his head as he drives forward down to the 23-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and short for Cumberland. And they're going to make a couple substitutions. 3 receivers in, 3 receivers out.
Had a lot of Bryant on him right there, and then Burge coming in to spell him. We're keeping fresh legs in the backfield.
This Cumberland offense, 48.6% on 3rd down this year. They were 6 of 10 last week against St. Andrews. They got the Lions to flinch. Free play. They throw downfield. Ball is going to be intercepted at the 2-yard line, intended for Isaiah O'Neal. Picking it off for Florida Memorial was Deshaun Davis. But this is most likely going to be a first down for the Phoenix as multiple Lions defensive linemen jumped across the neutral zone.
Yeah, they drew them off sides. And hey, Luke did a smart thing. Just try to make something happen. Throw it up for grabs.
51. 5-yard penalty from previous spot. Results in a first down.
They get Caleb Wade for being offsides. So instead of an INT, and on 3rd and 2, it's now a first down for Cumberland. They spot the ball inside the red zone at the Florida Memorial 18-yard line. We'll have a different running back into the ball game now. It's going to be Tim Pennell. 6 carries for 29 yards this season. They were all at Union a few weeks back. 1st and 10, Pennell to the right side of Holloway. From the 18-yard line, Luke gives Pennell running left side, now cuts it forward to the 15. Pennell still on his feet, fights his way to 10, being pushed forward, and now his progress will stop at the 10-yard line. Tim Pennell, an 8-yard bursting run on 1st and 10.
Running like a man possessed right there. Got the football, got resistance and contact right at the line of scrimmage, and he just kept those legs churning to pick up extra yardage.
He's hard to bring down, 5'10", 205, the junior out of Oakland High School. The Patriot has 8 yards, now 2nd and 2. Receiver either side, 2 tight to the left side of the formation. With 30 seconds left in the first quarter, Cumberland down by 7. Pennell gets another carry to the 10. Pennell has his first down as he stacked up at the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up first and goal, and now Cumberland going to bring in the heavy unit here. With 15 seconds left in the quarter, let's see if they get another snap off. They're bringing in an extra tight end, Jackson Gibson out there along with Carson Posh.
Yeah,
and with 5 seconds left in the quarter, they're going to make their way to the sideline and think about what they want to run to begin the second quarter. Entertaining first 15 minutes of action here at Oaks Lassiter Field. The score through one quarter of play, Florida Memorial 14, Cumberland 7, but they have it first and goal to go when we return for the second quarter of action here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Let's take a 30-second timeout.
Cumberland women's soccer will be playing 24th ranked Georgia Gwinnett this afternoon at Lindsey Donald Stadium at 3 p.m. This is the 5th ranked match early in this season. The team is ranked 8th in the latest NAIA Top 25 poll after a 7-1 start.
14 for Florida Memorial, 7 for Cumberland. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee with you here on the Cumberland Sports Network and on WANT and WCOR. Hope you're having a great 21st of September. Bob Lee, do you remember the 21st day of September?
Well, it's hard to remember past today. I remember this one.
I was going with the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I know the song. I know exactly what you're doing, but no.
Well, Cumberland right now, what they're trying to do, trying to tie this ball game up. They trail by 7, 14-7, but have it first and goal from the 5-yard line. Pennell, the back to the left of Holloway. They send a man in motion, snap, give. Pennell runs off right tackle. He stood up at the 3. We'll have a gain of 2 to bring up second and goal. First play and opening seconds of the second quarter. On a hot afternoon in Lebanon. Sun beaming down on all these Phoenix fans that are trying to catch footballs from the cheerleaders right now. Second and goal, Pennell lined up to the left of Holloway. Defensive front for Florida Memorial. Tries to crash in. Pennell hit near the goal line, spun down, but he falls in the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Phoenix. Tim Pennell powers it home from 3 yards out, and Cumberland responds once more. They're trailing by a point with 14-18 to play in the first half. Pennell's third touchdown as the Cumberland Phoenix had 2 a year ago. The extra point, snap, kick. It's good. 14-18 to play in the first half. We're tied at 14 between Florida Memorial and Cumberland. Let's take a 30-second timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Cumberland on the scoreboard once again as Tim Pennell scores on a 3-yard touchdown run. Jack Cantner adds the extra point. That completes a 4-play, 18-yard drive, time of possession, 6 minutes and 37 seconds. So with 14-18 left to go here in the first half, it's Cumberland 14, Florida Memorial 14.
Now, Bob Lee, what's the odds as we talk about Earth, Wind, and Fire before that touchdown? If you hear what they're playing here at Oaks Lassiter Field right now, Great song to be returned for this kickoff.
Yes, it is.
The 21st day of September. Glad to have y'all with us here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Christian Capozzi, Bob Lee with you here and our entire Cumberland Sports Network crew. 14 all. Bob Lee, the most important thing about that drive, you tied the ball game up, but you gave that defense some time to regroup.
Yeah, you were able to grind it out and spend a little time off that clock, and like you said, give the defense a rest because they got to be getting gassed right there when they've got no time to rest.
The defense has not gotten a stop in this game yet. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. Mansoray has it teed up, checks to his left, checks to his right. The freshman out of Chattanooga approaches, and it's another high end-over-end kick to the left side, fielded at the 8-yard line by Grant. Grant 15, 20, 25, has room to the 30, outside to the 40, and tackling him from behind and probably saving a touchdown. I think that was Burnley.
Yeah, Kane Burnley.
Kane Burnley, the junior out of Trousdale County, stops that return on. If he's not there, it's probably 6 on the board for Florida Memorial.
Yeah, he was the last man standing between him and the goal line.
1st and 10 Lions. They will start this drive from their own 42-yard line. Sedquan Smith, 4 of 6 passing, 65 yards and a touchdown. Walter Wilbon, the running back, 7 carries for 76 yards and a score as well. 1st and 10 Lions, play action. Smith back to pass, pressured, runs right, throws it, right side, ball is going to be incomplete. It was Burnley again, you're exactly right. As Smith is slow to get up as Burnley got him from behind. They say it's an incomplete pass, that he was not down, but Sedquan Smith is still down on the ground.
You know, he kind of went down as he was throwing the football and was pulled to the ground. He went down awkwardly.
He was trying to avoid a sack. He has not been sacked through their first 2 games, but now is down on the field in a ton of pain as the medical staff is out to attend to the senior quarterback. Let's take a 30-second timeout and bring it back in just a moment as the training staff out to attend to the injured Florida Memorial quarterback, Sedquan Smith. This is Phoenix Football on the Cumberland Sports Network. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Their conference opener this past Tuesday, sweeping Freed-Hardman. The Phoenix defeated Bethel in McKenzie last night by a score of 3-1 to start off Mid-South Conference play at 2-0. Also, we'd like to thank some of our corporate sponsors for their 2024 season. Hamilton Springs, Coca-Cola, Houston Clinic Orthopedic, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Back in Lebanon, where Sedquan Smith, the senior quarterback for the Lions, had to be carried off the field after being hit on a throw by Kane Burnley. A blitz off the outside, got the ball away, but now has to be carried off to the sideline. And now to see the next quarterback out there for the Lions.
Is it Buggs?
That is David Buggs, a sophomore. Buggs in the gun, play action, quick throw right side. The ball is behind David Studstill, incomplete, and that's where it goes to just a different quarterback being out there, not on the same page with his receiver.
You're exactly right. That ball was poorly thrown. It was behind the receiver. And, of course, he's cold coming off the bench, too. He's got to warm in to settle into this.
3rd and 10 for the Lions. A minute into the second quarter, 14-14 the score between the Phoenix and Florida Memorial. Lions send 2 receivers either side. Wilbon to the left of David Buggs. Snap back to Buggs. 5-step drop. Screens it right side.
Boom.
Caught and hit and dropped immediately Hauling that in was George Young, the senior. He has his second reception of the year. The first one went for 15 yards. That one went for nothing.
Eli Denton, Johnny on the spot right there, making the stop for the Phoenix. And the first punt of the football game coming up.
They get a stop. It'll be Oliver Robbins to punt. Jarius Rogers to return. Robbins has punted 7 times this year, averaging 46 yards per punt. Phoenix setting up the return. Snap to Robbins, a low one. Takes it, gets it away. A high, wobbly spiral. Rogers at the 20, avoids a defender, running outside to the left, now back to the right. He's in trouble, and he goes down at the 24-yard line. Short return, but the Phoenix get the football back, tied at 14 with 13:02 to play in the second quarter. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line.
34 yards on the kick, 4 yards on the return. Pretty good field position for the Phoenix. Defense did their job, got the 3 and out that time.
Here comes Cumberland back out on offense. It'll be Jeremiah Bryant to start this drive as the tailback. Bryant 5 carries for 21 yards thus far. Receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Holloway with Bryant to his right on 1st and 10. Luke with the snap, handoff Bryant, runs between the tackles out past the 25 down to the 29-yard line. Gain of 5 for Jeremiah, brings up 2nd and 5. Phoenix will get back on the football. Well, they're going to respot it. They're not going to give him the 24. They give him the 23. So call that a gain of 4 and now 2nd and 6. My apologies. Gibson, the tight end, he's lined up left side, long with the receiver over there, close to the line. Now both Gibson and Stevens motion right side. On 2nd and 6, Holloway with the snap, pulls it himself. He'll run left. Luke to the 30. Luke outside, stretches the football forward, but they're going to mark him out at the 33-yard line. I thought he had the first down, but it'll be ruled 3rd and 1 after a pickup of 5 yards.
Yeah, I thought he had it as well. Of course, that's all the way on the other side of the field, and I guess he did step out of bounds.
Very true. 3rd and 1. Lions with 5 men on the defensive front. Holloway looked like he was going to approach the offensive line. Now looks back over to the sideline to get the play call from offensive coordinator Bobby Brown. On 3rd and 1, snap, Luke, give, Bryant hit, and going to be dropped dangerously close to his line to gain.
They're saying it's first down.
They're already motioning to...
Yeah, head linesman over here is motioning that way.
Call it first down. The down marker has 4th down, but they are signaling, everybody's signaling, move those chains, and they finally do it. 1st and 10, Cumberland. The chain gang does not want to go, and they're finally saying, boys, you got to move.
Yeah, move it.
1st and 10, Phoenix. 11:45 to play first half. We're tied at 14. Holloway, 4 carries for 49 yards today. He's got a rushing touchdown as well. He'll hand this one off to Bryant. Jeremiah bursts through the gap and has a gain of a couple. He's stopped by Amari Taylor. Taylor's already been in on a couple stops this afternoon. Gain of 4, it's 2nd and 6. 3rd position of the ball game for Cumberland. They've scored touchdowns on their first 2. 2nd and 6 from their own 38-yard line. Holloway, another handoff is Bryant. Bryant, patient run to the 40. Jukes his way to the 42-yard line.
Bring up 3rd and a couple.
Tackled by the defensive lineman Keyshawn Williams, freshman out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. It's now 3rd and 2 for the Phoenix with 10:45 left in the second quarter.
I know, Christian, we got Logan Martin, the redshirt sophomore, in there at left guard now.
On 3rd and short, Bryant to the left of Holloway. They motion Stevens over to the right side. Now back to the left. A snap, keep by Holloway. 45, Luke to the 50. And as he enters Florida Memorial territory, he's tackled at the 47-yard line. And it's a Cumberland Phoenix first down on another keeper by the QB, Luke Holloway.
Luke effective running the football today. Four rushing attempts for 49 yards.
Last week against St. Andrews, 8 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. He had his 4th rushing touchdown this season back in the first quarter. 1st and 10, Cumberland. Inside Florida Memorial territory. Holloway, he'll look to pass. Throw right side, caught by Stevens. A high one brought in at the 43-yard line. Going to pick up 4 to bring up 2nd and 6. Holloway now 4 for 4 passing for 24 yards. Phoenix driving. Started this one in their own territory. Now at the Florida Memorial 43. It's a give to Bryant on 2nd and 6. And Bryant charges forward past the 40 down to the 39-yard line. He'll be stacked up there. It's going to be another 3rd down, but Bob Lee, what we've seen multiple times on this drive, a manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. Got Bryant having to come out and Burge back in.
And Jeremiah limps his way to the Cumberland sideline. The redshirt senior who transferred to Cumberland out of Missouri Valley will head to the medical tent, and on 3rd and 2, it'll be Nick Burge to the left of Luke Holloway with 8:40 left in the second quarter. This game tied at 14. 3rd and 2 for the Phoenix. From the Lion 39, snap, give, Burge hit, wrapped up and driven backwards. Oh, man, stopped in the backfield on a big play by Jamal Covington.
By a big boy.
And now we have a late flag that flies after the run. It was going to be 4th and 2, but now a penalty marker down after the play. Who'd they get here?
Looked like maybe Wiggins. I'm not sure. I shouldn't have said.
Trayvon Wiggins, the right guard. Also notice they have Evan Jones at right tackle. Kind of a mix and match between Toll and Jones at right tackle, especially on a hot day like today. They may be rotating linemen a little bit more often than they would.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 78.
Yep, you were right, Bob. It's Trayvon Wiggins who gets called for the penalty after the play. 4th and 2 now becomes 4th and 17. And after seeing Florida Memorial having to punt for the first time today, we will see the same be true for Cumberland. They're going to call upon Nolan Gottlieb. This is going to be his first punt since 2 weeks ago at Union. He did not punt last week against St. Andrews. He's averaging 37 yards per punt, over a 9-yard improvement from what he did a year ago as a freshman. Gottlieb takes the snap. It's going to be a low spiral. Off the hop at the 15, taken at the 8. 10, running outside to the 15. It's Barthel. Barthel to the 20. And Barthel will be stopped shy of the 25-yard line. A low lining kick, but good coverage by Cumberland. And they are going to pin the Lions back deep with 8:06 to play in the first half, and a tie ball game, 14-all here in Lebanon.
46 yards on the punt, 12 yards on the return, 13 yards on the return, and they're in business at the 21-yard line.
1st and 10 Lions, but now to see what they can do offensively without their quarterback. Hurt on that last drive, Saquon Smith, and David Buggs, the sophomore, remains out there at quarterback. On 1st and 10, Phoenix show pressure. It's a handoff right side, and stuck in the backfield is George Young. Young loses a yard back to the 20, 2nd and 11.
And defensively right now, you got to be thinking that they're not going to try to make him do too much offensively. And on these early downs, they want to try to run the football to take some pressure off that quarterback trying to make passes. So they're going to send them early on.
2nd and 11. Trips to the left, one receiver right side. Cumberland with 4 Phoenix on the line of scrimmage. Buggs motions over to his receivers to the left. And now barks an order to his offensive lineman up front. 5 seconds on the play clock. Snap, Buggs. Hands off, running right, George Young. And George Young moves it forward out past the 20, down to the 23-yard line.
Samples able to get there for the tackle.
So he gets the yard back he lost, plus 2 more. Now 3rd and 8 for the Lions. Just seconds away from 7 minutes left in the second quarter. 14-14 the score here at Noakes Lassiter Field. On 3rd and long, the Lions motion a receiver to the left. Snap back to Buggs. 5-step drop, rolls left, heaves it downfield. Ball's going to be intercepted. It's Burnley. Burnley at the 40. Blockers in front to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Phoenix. Kane Burnley, the Trousdale County boy, picks it off and runs it back, and the Cumberland Phoenix have their first lead today.
Oh, pretty play. Just picked his pocket.
That long throw by Buggs on the near side. Burnley jumped the pass, takes it back to the house. It's 2014 Cumberland. The 6th takeaway of the year for the Phoenix. Their 3rd INT, snap out on the extra point, the kick up by Cantner. His kick is good. There are multiple flags down. The Lions were trying to send a man on late, and he was standing almost right next to Jack Cantner when he kicked it.
So that'll be assessed on the kickoff.
We'll wait to get assurance before we do anything here. This may be one where it may not be an option. The entire officiating crew is now huddling at the 5-yard line after the successful extra point. Let's get the call.
Illegal substance corner. Defense. Penalties declined. Tries good.
So they will decline the penalty. Obviously take the successful extra point by Jack Cantner, and the score was 6:44 to play in the first half. 21 for Cumberland, 14 for Florida Memorial. We'll keep it right here. Bob Lee, how'd they do it?
Well, they did it on a interception. Let's see, David Buggs. Pass was intercepted by Kane Burnley at the 44-yard line, run back for the touchdown. Cantner adds the extra point, which is good. So with 6:44 left to go here in the first half, it's your Cumberland Phoenix 21, Florida Memorial Lions 14.
Burnley's first interception of his career.
Well, he made the most of it.
He absolutely did. And it just worked out perfectly. As soon as he picked it off, he had all kind of men in maroon out in front to block for him.
Yeah, they led the way.
Cumberland now with their first lead today, up by 7. Mansoray to kick off to the Lions. Right down Broadway, the end-over-end kick will be taken at the 13-yard line. 15-20, 25-30. There goes Barthel to the 35, to the 40, and that's going to be Mansoray, the kicker, that pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah, 30-yard return, and they're in business right here at the 43-yard line, 42-yard line, excuse me.
Other than the kickoff return where the returner dove for the ball, it's been decent starting field position all along for the Lions. But now all of a sudden for Florida Memorial, things were going right on offense. They couldn't be slowed down the first couple times they've had it. They were held 3 and out. And now after the pick 6, to see what they can do with David Buggs, the sophomore backup quarterback. Sedquan Smith, the starter, hurt a few drives ago on a hit by Kane Burnley, who would later go and pick off that pass and run it back for 6 points. On 1st and 10 to start the drive, they'll keep it on the ground with Wilbon. Walter Wilbon, a hard run past the 45 and stopped at the 48-yard line. That may be their ticket going forward with the backup quarterback out there. Wilbon picks up 6 yards on first down.
Well, and you said it best with Sedquan Smith. He's their go-to guy. He's one that makes them tick. He's the straw that stirs the drink, and he is without him, they're kind of lost right now.
2nd and 4, another give Wilbon, and Wilbon past midfield into Cumberland territory, and will move the chains. He'll be spotted down at the 47-yard line with a gain of 5. 1st and 10 Lions. Less than 6 left in the first half. Cumberland 21, Florida Memorial 14.
They desperately want to get this running game going.
They operate without a huddle. Trips to the right, 1 receiver left side. Snap to Buggs. 3-step drop, looks left, throws left. caught by Studstill, and Studstill has a modest gain up to the 43-yard line. He gains 4 to bring up 2nd and 6. That was Xander Lipscomb with the stop. The sophomore entered today with 6 tackles. And after that one, brings up 2nd and 6. Balance set here for the Lions. 2 receivers either side with the ball on the left hash of the 43-yard line. 5:10 and counting left, second quarter. They're going to motion a man over to the right side. Snap. Bugs gives. Wilbon runs right to the 40. Just hits his own men and just pushes them forward to the 41-yard line. It's going to be another first down. Hardway on the stop for Cumberland.
Yeah, he runs hard. Wilbon is just, it's like every muscle in his body's moving when he runs the football.
On 1st and 10, another give for Wilbon. There he goes again, 35-30. He is just dragging men with him up to the 28-yard line. A gain of 9, and Wilbon probably picked 8 of them up all by himself.
Yeah,
A second-team All-Sun Conference selection a year ago. As they get right back on the football. 2nd and 1. Wilbon, their first game this year against Edward Waters, 170 yards and 4 touchdowns. Already has a long one here today on 2nd and 1. Why not Wilbon again? 25, and Wilbon tackled at the 20-yard line with a gain of 8 yards and another Lions first down with 4 minutes to play in the first half. Cumberland up 7, but the Lions are driving. 1st and 10 at the Phoenix 20-yard line. Wilbon's going to get a breather. He's going to head to the far sideline. And in for him is Marcus Barthol, the junior. Barthol, 132 yards and a touchdown on the ground entering today. Cumberland jump, free play for Florida Memorial. They throw across the middle, ball juggled, ball incomplete. Lipscomb got a hand on it on a pass intended for David Studstill, but this is going to be 5 free yards for the Lions. Excuse me, that was not Studstill. That was Markel Lee that was targeted on the pass.
Offside. Defense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So they get Mason Bailey for being offsides. Now 1st and 5 for Florida Memorial from the 15-yard line. Clock stop, 3:34 to play in the first half. 35 first half points scored in this one, combined by the two sides, but it's Cumberland leading right now, 21-14. What about the 3 men in the backfield with Bugs? But something did not go properly for Florida Memorial. They had a diamond set around Bugs in the gun, but something not right there for the Lions. They call for time. Let's do it as well. We'll take a 30-second timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network and bring it back in just a moment. Christian Capozzi, Bob Lee back with you here inside our broadcast booth at Noakes Lassiter Field. 3:34 to play first half. Cumberland 21, Florida Memorial 14. Bob Lee, these Cumberland Phoenix trying to get a stop and slow down this Florida Memorial offense that has found some answers with David Bugs at quarterback.
Well, they are, and along those same lines, we're trying to keep some fresh bodies in there, too, on this day that's going to be so hot.
Diamond formation for the Lions. Snap, play action. Bugs rolls right, throws to his right. Caught in the flat, and a first down for the Lions. Burnley makes the stop. Reception that moves the change for Florida Memorial was made by Khalil Washington, the sophomore running back. Excuse me, that is 26, not 20. That is Jeremiah Sims. Sims now lines up behind Bugs in that diamond formation on 1st and goal. Handoff Sims. Runs right and has a short gain before he's stopped by Eli Denton. Gain of 2 up to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal with 3 minutes left in the first half. Certainly the best drive Florida Memorial has had without Sedquan Smith out there as their signal caller.
Well, they're prepared to just grind it out and go to the short passing game.
Buggs turns, play action, looks left, rolls, high pass over the head of George Young. It's incomplete. Pressure on the play by Des Wallace. It brings up 3rd and 5, stops the clock with 2:36 left in the second quarter.
And he threw that one away just to live to play another play.
Interesting, too, they've gotten to this point of the field. Big part of Walter Wilbon. They haven't given it to Wilbon in a couple plays.
Yeah, they haven't. Well, he's back in now.
Maybe I should be careful what I ask for. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Lions trail by 7. 3 bunch set to the left, receiver to the right side. Buggs in the gun, claps his hands, take the snap. Phoenix send 4, Buggs rolls right, going to try to race for the pylon. Instead throws it into the end zone, it's intercepted. Threw it right into the hands of DeAndre Caldwell in the end zone. I thought Bobby was going to take it and run.
I did too. He could have walked in the end zone almost.
But a gimme to DeAndre Caldwell.
Wow.
The Smyrna Bulldog won't get an easier one all year, and the Phoenix indeed get the stop and have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Wow. I mean, that hit him right between the numbers. He'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, being a touchback in the end zone, and the offense is in business. Be great to tack another one on right here before first half is over.
And look who they're going to feature in the backfield to start this drive. Jacob Cornejo, the freshman running back, 6 foot 220. Touches the grass for the first time this afternoon. He's lined up to the left of Luke Holloway with 2:29 to play in the first half. Phoenix lead by 7. Snap, give, Cornejo. Patient, now runs right. Cornejo, 25. There he goes to the 30. And a Cumberland Phoenix first down on the first touch of the afternoon. A 12-yard run by Jacob Cornejo.
Well, that's a good way to start the drive off. Stop the clock, move the chains. 2:12 and counting.
2-minute warning upcoming, 10 seconds away from it. Cumberland right back on the football. They're going to run another play. Give Cornejo. He's out past the 35. He's still pushing his way to the 37, to the 38, to the 39, to the 40, and down to the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the final play before the 2-minute warning, and that indeed takes us to a stoppage on the field. Cumberland has the football up by 7 and trying to tack on more before halftime. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Phoenix football here on the Cumberland Sports Network. .14 the score here in Lebanon. The Phoenix leading Florida Memorial by 7. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Cumberland with the football at their own 41-yard line. They have it 2nd and 2, but Bob Lee still all 3 timeouts. I think you're in attack mode here, I would say.
Absolutely. Get them while they're vulnerable. They got to be a little bit down after that big long drive resulting into an interception.
Good to see for Cumberland here after the timeout. Jeremiah Bryant back out there. He limped off the field a little earlier in the ball game. On 2nd and 2, Holloway back to pass. They screen pass it. It's a pass to Bryant. 45, blockers in front to the 50. Runs into a tackler and cannot make his way any further. He does have a first down up to the Florida Memorial 46-yard line, but Bob, he had 3 blockers out in front.
Yeah, should have really gotten a little bit more out of that one.
Regardless, 1st and 10 Cumberland with 1:45 left in the first half. The Phoenix back on the football. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Isaiah O'Neal, the lone man to the right side. They motion Bryant out of the backfield. Holloway back to pass, looks right, now throws left. Caught by Stevens. Nate hit in the backfield and tackled at midfield. He was caught by Darius Conley, the senior defensive back. That's going to be a loss of 4, and that clock continues to run with 1:20 seconds left in the half.
Tried a little bubble screen over to the left side. When they did, they Florida Memorial just read it like a book and was to the football in a hurry.
2nd and 14. Just 3 men on the line of scrimmage for Florida Memorial. On 2nd and long, Holloway takes a snap with a minute left. Throw right side, caught by Rogers at the 40. Jarius spins away to the 35, still on his feet. Cuts outside to the 30, taking all kind of lines to bring him down. They finally stop him at the 28-yard line. First down, Cumberland, a 22-yard grab by Jarius Rogers. He did half the work by himself.
Yes, he did. Once he caught the football, he just did a really good job of creating his own gain after that.
Tim Mathis calls for time after the reception by Jarius Rogers, the freshman out of Bradley Central High School, averaging 44 yards per game and 16.6 yards per catch. He had 22 there to bring up 1st and 10 from the Florida Memorial 28-yard line. But a timeout by Tim Mathis stops the action with 50 seconds left in the 2nd quarter.
Well, with 2 timeouts and 50 seconds, and you got a first down, so do you try to run the football? Do you say you're strictly throwing toward the sideline, or do you take a chance up the middle right now with 2 timeouts in your pocket? So you got a lot of options right now.
You're averaging 5.6 yards per carry, so I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility with as much success as they've had. But as you mentioned, the playbook's still pretty open for Bobby Brown, the OC, his 2nd year as the offensive coordinator for the Cumberland Phoenix. But after the timeout, 1st and 10 Cumberland. O'Neal, the receiver, to the right. Rogers, Stevens, and Posh to the left. Bryant remains the back to the right of Luke Holloway in the gun. Cumberland 21, Florida Memorial 14. 50 seconds left first half. Cumberland will receive the second half kickoff. 1st and 10, it's Holloway back to pass. They're going to set up the draw. Luke right, now left, 25. Holloway to the 20, spun down awkwardly, and at the 18-yard line should be enough to move the chains. And they are going to signal first down Cumberland, a gain of 10 on 1st and 10. And Tim Mathis is going to use another timeout. But there is an injured Lion down on the field.
You know, I'm wondering if when Florida Memorial is running this no-huddle offense, and maybe we need to have a couple of injury timeouts.
We'll see who that injured Lion was on the field. It was the defensive back, Terry Smith. I wonder, too, Bob, leaving South Florida, they might have thought we're getting a little bit of a reprieve from the heat, and they showed up to Middle Tennessee, and it's just as hot as it probably was in Florida.
Well, probably worse because the humidity's here, and they don't have it down there.
That's true. That nice breeze they got coming off the Atlantic.
That ocean breeze is nowhere around here. Not Spring Creek over here.
You mean you don't like that breeze off the Cumberland?
Well, you know, it's
I guess it just hits a little different.
Kind of a murky, muddy breeze.
1st and 10 Phoenix following the timeout. So they do charge that timeout to Cumberland. You almost think if they wait a second or two, that would have had to go against Florida Memorial for the injury timeout. But the line still with 2 timeouts, Cumberland with 1. They have too many men on the field. This may be a free play for the Phoenix. Holloway back to pass, looks left, now rolls right. Luke room to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, goes to the pylon, and Holloway stays in bounds and is in the end zone. His 2nd time today. Touchdown, Luke Holloway.
He continues to create plays.
Multiple rushing touchdowns once more, this time from 18 yards out. He had a similar run a week ago against St. Andrews, and the Cumberland Phoenix lead at 27-14.
Christian, that's so big to get this touchdown before we go to intermission.
Kantner for point after. Snap, it was a low one. Holtzclaw puts it down, and that kick is good. What a hold by Zach Holtzclaw. That ball rolled back to him. He gets it up in time for Kantner to try for point after. And the score, 28 for Cumberland, 14 for Florida Memorial. Let's keep it right here. Just 32 seconds left before halftime.
But on that scoring drive, Luke Holloway gets the score on a 16-yard touchdown run. Kantner adds the extra point. That completed a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Time of possession, 1:57. So with 32 seconds left to go here in the first half, it's your Cumberland Phoenix 28, Florida Memorial 14.
Luke Holloway now today on the ground, 7 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Entered today, 30 carries for 167 yards and 3 scores. Just the mobility of Luke Holloway has always been showcased. Entered the season in his previous 2 years as the QB for Cumberland with 1,000 rushing yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. He had 12 rushing touchdowns entering the year through 2 seasons. Already this year he's got 5.
And he's 7 of 7 through the air, so he's having a fairly good day.
Mansoray to boot this one to the Lions. You need some coverage here. Taken at the 10-yard line by Grant. Grant 15-20, runs into a pile of Phoenix at the 25-yard line and will be halted there with 27 seconds left before the break.
Florida Memorial may be content just take a knee right here. Get into halftime and regroup.
Well, all of a sudden, with the loss of Saquon Smith, we talked all pregame about the balance of this offense. They entered today through 2 contests, 189 yards average through the air, 189 on the ground. All of a sudden, since David Buggs has been in there, they've just really become a little bit more one-dimensional.
Yes, they have, but they've been able to move the football on the ground. We stack them in the box.
Lions do have 2 timeouts. They're going to have 2 receivers to either side. Buggs takes a snap, will look to throw left side, caught on the near sideline by Studstill, and Studstill will be tackled inbounds by Keon Thrillkill. And the Lions are going to call for time. They will take a timeout with 16 seconds to play in the half. The reception by Studstill, a gain of 6. It's 2nd and 4.
Well, Cumberland Athletics would like to thank some of its corporate sponsors for the 2024 football season. Emmanuel Baptist Church, Kenny Salas with Salas Realty Group, Wilson Bank and Trust, Sports World, and Chick-fil-A. Thank you for your sponsorship.
Absolutely. Nice crowd on hand today for this stretch of Cumberland Phoenix football, where they're at Noakes Lassiter Field for a good portion of the next couple weeks. They are, after this week, heading into a bye week. They have a road trip to Campbellsville, then back-to-back home games. So a stretch of where they play 4 home games and 5 contests. Right now they're doubling up Florida Memorial, 28-14, 16 seconds left before halftime. 2 receivers either side after the timeout. Buggs takes a 5-step drop, pressured in front, now rolls right, in a lot of trouble, throws to the flat, caught at the 35, and getting out of bounds with the reception is Studstill. Studstill has it to the 36. The chains were ready to move, but it's not going to be a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
It's 7 seconds to go. This could be the last play of the first half.
A gain of 3. 3rd and 1 for the Lions. Florida Memorial with 1 timeout remaining. Trips to the left, 1 receiver right side. Cumberland will send 5. That's Buggs. Looks forward, heaves this one deep, looking downfield. Ball is intercepted. That's Cannon Johnson, who picks it off, the 3rd INT of the first half.
With the cast on his hand.
Club and all, hauls it in. The 3rd interception by this Cumberland defense, and that one will end the first half on a high point. A ball game where both offenses drove down and scored on their first 2 possessions, but since then, the Cumberland defense has stood up, made some adjustments, and has helped this team with a 28-14 halftime lead. The Cumberland crew will head to the locker room, as will the Florida Memorial Lions. Bob Lee, a heck of a ball game we've seen thus far here today at Noakes Lassiter.
It is, and you could kind of see the wind come out of the sails of the Lions when they lost their quarterback, because that's he's meant so much to this offense. He's made them go, and Saquon Smith being gone has left a big void for their offense. And when you had coming in for him, you had Buggs taking his place, and that first drive they just kept the ball on the ground, but he's thrown interception after interception now, and it's they're searching for answers.
We'll have time to try to find some of those answers here at halftime. 28-14 the score here in Lebanon. we're going to get set for a timeout. When we return, Sports Information Director Kyle Allen will catch up and talk a little Cumberland men's soccer. He'll catch up with head coach Julian Lukumi to see all the latest and all the really good news that's coming out of men's soccer for the Cumberland Phoenix. So that's coming up here in just a moment. But once again, your halftime score at Noakes Lassiter Field, the Cumberland Phoenix leading the Florida Memorial Lions with a score of 28-14. Let's take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Season under Coach Adam Grant and Shane Keeley as his assistant. We had a great year. That year we were champions, regular season champions, and lost in the conference final against Lindsey Wilson. It was a tough one, losing that year, the conference final. And then after that, I kind of took a year off from soccer, stay away from the sport, and came back to Nashville. After I graduated from Cumberland, I went to Philadelphia and then took a year off, came back to Nashville to do my master's in Belmont University. Graduated from there, and that's kind of how I started coaching again. So I started coaching at a small club in town in Nashville. It's called NUSA, Nashville Soccer Academy United. And then I got connected again with Adam. I reached out to Coach Adam to see if I was able to be the volunteer assistant, and he welcomed me in. Started being around the program again as a volunteer coach. Jesse was the GA, Shane Keeley was the assistant, and Adam was the head coach. And then just kind of started working my way up after being volunteer for a couple of years. Adam left. He got the job at Bakersfield in California. and then Keely took over the head coach position, and he offered me the assistant job. So of course that was a privilege for me to start as an assistant, to be trusted from him, being my first college full-time position. And ever since then, it's been amazing. It's been a great journey. Just learning a lot, and I had no idea that being a head coach was going to happen so soon. I was waiting for that way down the line, and everything just came out of nowhere. And here we are now. Everything's playing out.
I told you before I asked you to do this interview, I was going to leave you alone until you guys lost. Now that y'all have lost, you had a great start to the season. Y'all are 7-1, 8-1.
Yep, that one.
Started off 7-0. Talk about your team this year, because this year y'all have been pretty much lights out offensively. You have the second best scoring in the country. NAI-wise, Robbie Lyons has been incredible this year. So just kind of talk about what you have put into these players just on the offensive side of the ball to get them to where they are right now.
Yeah, 100%. First of all, I want to start saying that I was privileged enough to take over a team, a great team. We came up from winning conference last year under Keely, and also being under Keely and under Adam, right, and different coaches that have been around us has helped me a lot, right? Just taking over same ideas, same principles, same ethical values, right? I think that's the most important thing. And adding a little bit of what I wanted to do. So yeah, privileged enough to take over a team that was in a great position, great players. The starting of the season is something that I never expected, and I dream of it. Of course, you always wanna do well, but it's hard to do well, right? Winning is not easy.
Sometimes that first win's hard to give. You rattled off 7 in a row, so the expectations are pretty high.
100%. So it turned out that way, which it's a start that I cannot ask for any better, right? And now it's about keeping it going. That's the hardest part. Being consistent, and especially when conference time comes around, which is where it matters the most. So that's what we're trying to do. Like right now, we're trying to keep everybody level, everybody humble, everybody with their feet on the ground. And again, I think the successful part of the season of this team is based on our principles. Just being being humble, respectful with each other, working hard, and not being complacent. Right? Like complacency is something that we want to stay away from, and I think that's been the success part of the team.
Let's get into some of your players this year. I mentioned Robbie there for a brief second. Just talk about some of the key guys that you have and what they're doing well for you. Your captains, your leaders.
Yeah, Robbie has been a great asset for the team, being the captain this year. He was an important player last year as well for us, and this year he's having the captaincy of the team. He's been exceptional on that side, like being a great leader, leading by example, not just in the field but off the field, taking care of his body, which shows the professionalism that he has. He's playing a lot of minutes, and in order to do that, he demands that you have to be professional, right? You have to eat well, you have to take care of your body, you have to be doing treatment and all of that, and that shows everybody the leader that the group has, right? So it's easy for the rest to follow after that. So yeah, we've been pretty happy, the coaching staff, with him, with his leadership, and in the field he's been amazing, right? Scoring probably 2 goals per game, assisting at least 1 assist per game. So that's the production that he's been delivering. It's been exceptional for this year for sure. We have a couple of new additions in the team. We have a guy from Portugal, Luis Arrejo, brings a lot of experience as well into the team. The 2 Colombians, Haro and Justin, they bring their own stuff, We have a couple of guys from Spain as well that have been great additions, just not in the football part, but in in the locker room, right? They bring a lot of charisma, and those are things that matters a lot in a team, right? Just how close you are with each other, I think makes a big factor in the successful part of the team, right?
Coach, well, we're pulling for you. We're going to stop the interview here. We're pulling for you the rest of the season, 13th ranked already, hoping that we can keep them climbing and chase that road to, another conference championship.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you again, everybody, for having me and for all the support throughout the season, and we hope to keep it going as well.
That's head coach Julian Lukumi of the men's soccer program. They'll be back in action on September 27th against Georgetown. That match is on the road, but you can find that all the information on Cumberland University's athletics website. We'll take a 2-minute break and be right back with second half action between Cumberland and Florida Memorial here at Oaks Lasker.
The Cumberland Phoenix. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee here on the Cumberland Sports Network. It's time now to look at some halftime stats and see how we got to this point. Bob, I guess the perspective has really changed on this game where the first couple of drives, neither defense could get a stop. But since then, and really the big story has been since Saquon Smith has checked out of the ball game, got hit by Kane Burnley on a blitz, came off, had to be carried off the field. He's still dressed out, still on the sideline, but have not seen him since. This Florida Memorial offense has looked much different.
Well, it has, and they just trying to find an identity once he's gone. Bugs has stepped in, and he's doing, I guess, good as he can. It's just, going into this football game, there were a few things that Cumberland wanted to try to address in this past week in practice. One of them was, cut down on mistakes, cut down on turnovers, and they've done that. Right now, they've got 3 interceptions. They've not given the football up. They've been able to control the clock, the time of possession here in the first half. Florida Memorial has had the ball 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Cumberland has had it 21 minutes and 12 seconds. Offensively, Florida Memorial 11 first downs, Cumberland 16. Rushing the football, the Lions have had 18 rushing attempts for 130 yards. The Phoenix 29 rushing attempts for 178 yards. Receptions, we've thrown the ball, let's see here, We're 9 of 13, excuse me, we are 7 of 7 for 55 yards. They are 9 of 17 for 85 yards, but they've got 3 interceptions. Offensive plays, Florida Memorial has got 35 offensive plays for 215 yards. Cumberland, 36 offensive plays for 233 yards. But the time of possession is almost 13 minutes in favor of our Cumberland Phoenix. We've had both teams have had 2 penalties for 20 yards. We've punted the ball 1 time for 37 yards. They punted it once for 46. So third down efficiency too has been good in the first half for our Phoenix. Florida Memorial's had they've been 2 of 6 on third down efficiency, and Cumberland 5 of 6. So basically, we've been able to throw the clock a little bit since those early series of downs when they were just going no huddle, quick offense. We couldn't catch our breath. For being able to slow the game down just a little bit and get back, kind of get our feet underneath us and be able to make some adjustments and stand in there defensively. So Cumberland's done what they've had to do. They've been patient. They've made their adjustments, that's always a good thing when you can make adjustments and correct what's been going wrong, and that's what they've done. They explains the 2 touchdown lead here, leading in the first half. I scored 28-14.
Let's take a look at some of the first half stats. Luke Holloway, 7 of 7 passing for 55 yards. Receiving-wise, leading the way, Jerry Rogers, 1 for 22. Jeremiah Bryant, the screen pass for 13. Isaiah O'Neal, 1 for 9. Nate Stevens, 3 receptions for just 7 yards. Timothy Friel, 1 for 4. Rushing, Luke Holloway leads the way, 7 carries, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Bryant, 10 carries for 38. Jacob Cornejo, 2 for 21. Tim Pinnell, 4 for 18, and Nick Burge, 6 for 17. On the defensive side of things, Watson leading the way in tackles. Knox Watson with 6 total tackles to this point. Samples with 5, and DeMarcus Brown with 4. No sacks to this point for the Cumberland defense, but as Bob just mentioned a moment ago, 3 first-half INTs. 1 for DeAndre Caldwell. That was on the drive where Florida Memorial was in the red zone, and a pass that DeAndre Caldwell picked off in the end zone to make sure there was no score on the board on that drive by the Lions. Cannon Johnson picked one off there on the final play of the first half, and then Kane Burnley, a 44-yard interception return for a touchdown. 3 first-half INTs by this Cumberland defense. Bob Lee, this is the first time that Cumberland has intercepted 3 passes in a game since September 7th, 2019, and they've done that in just the first 30 minutes today.
Yeah, there's still another half to go. They may not be done yet defensively.
Well, especially with the score, too. You're thinking Florida Memorial, the way this offense is set up, they wanted to take some deep shots. These passes have not been just out in the flat, some check down stuff. They've tried to go vertical with their passing game, and once again, that was more with Sedquan Smith back there. But you can see that's kind of the identity of this Lions offense.
And, through the first 3 games, our defense has really stood up and really dug in when they've needed to. And then today is no different. If nothing else, they've done even a better job today than they had the first 3 games, if that could be possible.
Let's take a 30-second timeout. When we return, it's time for second half action. The Cumberland Phoenix leading Florida Memorial 28-14, and the Phoenix getting set to take the ball to begin the second half. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Phoenix football on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Find all your Cumberland University athletics information on the web at www.gocumberlandathletics.com. The site features news graphics and links to rosters, schedules, program details, and news stories on all Phoenix sports. Links for live stats, video, and audio may also be found on the site. For game day updates, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Go CU Phoenix. Your home for Cumberland Athletics. GoCumberlandAthletics.com.
Christian Capozzi, Bob Lee with you here on the Cumberland Sports Network. About time for second half action. The Phoenix here at Noakes Lassiter Field, back-to-back home games. Our final non-conference matchup of the season. Next week's a bye week, and then Bob Lee, you enter Mid-South Conference play. 6 consecutive of those matchups, and we always know how tough the Mid-South Conference can be. So want to get into that one on the right foot, and I don't think you could start any better if you can finish the deal here and start 4-0.
Well, you're exactly right. And, you know, in the past we've had open dates like on the second week of the season. This is kind of good. You can if you start off 4-0 and you got an open week to get everybody healthy before you start league play.
Florida Memorial to kick off to Cumberland. Rogers and Dangerfield back deep to return. The kick by Robbins sails to the 5-yard line and taken by Jarius Rogers. 10, 15 to his right to the 20, and stuck and driven backwards before he reaches the 25-yard line. Driven backwards several yards by Vitrell Batten. And the Cumberland offense will take over 1st and 10 inside their own 25-yard line. So here comes Luke Holloway and crew back out on offense. 28 first half points put up on the scoreboard. Now 7 of those thanks to the defense on the Kane Burnley INT. But Holloway, perfect passing in the first half. 7 of 7, 55 yards. He leads the team in rushing 88 yards on 7 carries, averaging 12.6 yards per run. I think we have a flag somewhere.
Kicking team, number 20. That 5-yard penalty forced from the end of the run. First down.
Okay, so I did not see that initially. They were offsides on the kickoff, and so a free 5 yards. Cumberland will start from their own 27.
Exactly, and lost my train of thought.
All good. Holloway in the gun with Jacob Cornejo to his right. Cornejo a couple carries in the first half. 1st and 10. Here's one to start the second half. Cornejo powers his way to the 30, to the 31, 32, 33, 34, and down to the 35-yard line. Jacob Cornejo just powers his way forward for a gain of 8, and it's 2nd and 2.
Like a bulldozer.
Ran for over 3,000 yards a year ago as a high school senior at Cherokee High School in Alabama. A 2-time Class 4A All-State selection. 2nd and 2. Cornejo now to the right of Holloway. Snap, play action. Luke throws right side, caught by Rogers at the 40. Hit immediately and tackled by Devin Essex. But that'll be a Cumberland Phoenix first down at the 40-yard line. But we have a flag down on the very far side of the field. Do we have extracurriculars, Bob Lee?
Well, they're getting the big cheering that coming from right there is Sailor Tull has just, he drove his man 15 to 20 yards down the field.
Well, we see what he did. He was an ineligible man downfield, so it received, I guess, praise from the sideline, but at the same time, it cost the Phoenix a first down. One of those RPOs where it could have been a run play, and then all of a sudden Luke decides to throw it, and we have a lineman a couple yards downfield.
Kind of like one of those blocks that you saw on the blind side when he drives him the whole length of the field.
Taking him to the bus.
Yeah.
2nd and 7. Holloway in the gun. He's back to pass. 3-step drop. He'll screen it right side. Caught by Cornejo. Hit. Stays on his feet. But Jacob, surrounded by 4 white jerseys of Florida Memorial defenders, he is tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It's 3rd and 7. Lions read that one pretty well.
Yeah, had it sniffed out.
Hatchett and Maher, the receivers to the left. Friel, the receiver to the right. Opening drive of the third quarter. We're a minute and a half into the second half. Cumberland leading 28-14. Trips to the left, receiver to the right side. Holloway. Snap. Drop back, now we'll run. Luke bottled up, and Luke will have a gain of 2 yards up to the 32-yard line. I think that looked like a draw play and an even more exaggerated one of that, but nothing really set up there for Luke Holloway to take advantage of.
Yes, kind of like he was hesitating to make a cut, but the opening never came.
A gain of 2 up to the 32. 4th and 5. Cumberland will have to call upon Nolan Gottlieb to punt for the second time today. His first punt good for 46 yards. Man back deep to return for Florida Memorial is Marcus Barthel. On 4th and 5, Gottlieb takes a snap, gets away the punt. Wobbly end over end kick, bounces at the 40. Does not take much of a roll before it hops out of bounds. And Florida Memorial will take it around their own 38-yard line. 1st and 10 with 12:20 to play in the third quarter.
And they're going to have good field position on their first drive.
So now to see what the Lions can do on offense without their starting quarterback who exited in the first half, Sedquan Smith, the senior who is completing 73% of his passes through the first 2 contests of the year. Injured on a throw where he was hit rolling to his right, and since then it has been David Buggs, the sophomore. Buggs in the first half, 5 of 10, 20 yards through 3 INTs. He'll have a back to either side on 1st and 10. He'll give to the back Wilbon, and Walter Wilbon just charges forward and is tripped up at the 45-yard line with a gain of 7, and it's 2nd and 3. The Lions will operate no huddle, right back on the football as they respot it at the 44-yard line and call it 2nd and 4. Snap, same play, give Wilbon, this time stuck in the backfield, hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he did good to get back to the line of scrimmage that time. Our defensive front got really good penetration that time into the Florida Memorial backfield.
Joey Samples, the 308-pound sophomore there to help clog it up. Now 3rd and 4 for the Lions. They put a man in motion. Back to pass. Buggs has time, throws across the middle of the field. Incomplete. A high pass intended for Studstill. Right behind the receiver was Keon Thrillkill. But another example of the backup just not on the same page. A little bit of a high throw to the leading receiver for the Lions.
Errant throw.
That stops the clock with 11:32 left in the third. Cumberland 28, Florida Memorial 14. So back-to-back punts by both sides to begin the second half.
And, you know, that happens a lot to a quarterback when you get kind of antsy. You're in the backfield and you're dropping back to pass and you're looking and you get happy feet, and then it makes you throw the ball high.
Robbins to punt for the Lions. Low snap. Cannot field it. It is planted by Hardway. Oh, man. A low snap. Robbins fumbling and trying to pick it up, and as soon as he looked up, right in his face is Peyton Hardway, the sophomore from Greenbrier, smacks the punter. It's 1st and 10 Cumberland at the Florida Memorial 34-yard line. I don't think that's ever the plan for a punter to get hit like that.
No, he could hear footsteps coming too because he was taking his eye off trying to pick up the snap, and that's what happened.
1st and 10 Phoenix, 34 yards away from the goal line. Tim Pinnell, the back in the backfield with Holloway. On 1st down, Luke hands off to Pinnell. Pinnell dances his way forward for a short gain up to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 2. Stop on the play by Jaden Haynes, the junior defensive lineman out of Miami Gardens, Florida.
Take your time, let the clock run, get that play clock drawn down.
Now 4 minutes into the quarter, Cumberland leading by 14. 2nd and 8, Holloway asks for Carson Posh, the tight end, to motion over to the left side. Lines up there in a 3-point stance. Now sends Stevens in motion. Snap, handoff Nate, cuts up field and lost his footing. The outside defender made him cut up field, and it's Ja'Kai Linwood who forces that play. Stevens dives back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 8 for this Cumberland offense.
Defensive end that time for the Lions, because it was Linwood, did a good job of stringing the play out.
Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Holloway in the gun, Pinnell to his left on 3rd and long. Snap, Lions send 3. Luke will climb and run. He's bottled up that time, hit as he spins forward, past the 30 down to the 27-yard line. At least gives the Phoenix an option. It was 3rd and 8. It's now going to be 4th and 3 after the 5-yard scramble by Holloway. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, they'll leave the offense out there. Now the Lions have another player down.
Injury on the field. Man down for the Lions. Let's step aside for a timeout. Exactly 10 minutes left, third quarter. Cumberland leading 28-14 here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Injury timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network. The injured Lion, Jaden Haynes, able to make his way off the field. But during that timeout, the Cumberland Phoenix able to come up with a plan on 4th and 3. The Phoenix offense will stay out there. Lions clogging up the middle on 4th and short. Showing pressure. Holloway sends Stevens in motion. Snap, keep. Luke upfield. 25. Luke to the 20 is popped, but has a Cumberland Phoenix first down. Needed 3, got 7. Lions trying to sell out to stop it, and they still couldn't do so. First and 10, Cumberland. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. Holloway with Pennell to his right. Luke, an efficient day running the football. On 1st and 10, this time he'll look to pass. Rolls right, heaves it down to the flat. It is caught on his rear end. Caden Hatchett hauls in the pass. His 3rd reception of the year. Exactly 10 yards on the pickup. First down, Cumberland. It'll be 1st and goal to go at the 10-yard line.
Holloway's still perfect on the day on his passing, now 9 of 9 for 65 yards.
Hatchett, 21 yards receiving on 2 receptions entering today, so we're still right at that 10-yard average. 1st and goal from the 10. Phoenix in 2 men in motion to the left side. Pennell to the left side of Holloway. On 1st and goal, give Pennell, hit and dropped in the backfield for a loss. It is Ja'Kai Linwood. He had Stevens a moment ago that forced that long 3rd down play. And there he has a tackle for loss. -1, 2nd and goal from the 11. 8:25 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Cumberland 28, Florida Memorial 14. The Phoenix 3-0 on the year. The Lions out of Miami Gardens, Florida at 1-0-1. 2 receivers left, receiver to the right. Now Holloway motions Hatchett to the right side. Defensive formation shifting for the Lions. Snap, Holloway gives Pennell trying to get outside. He's not going to get there. Another tackle for loss. This time credited to Josh Mims, the linebacker. Had it 1st and goal from the 10, 2nd and goal from the 11, and now 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line.
Going backwards.
O'Neal, the receiver, to the right. Posh, Hatchett, and Maher to the left. Excuse me, that is Rogers. Maher wearing 81, Rogers wearing 82. 7.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Cumberland by 14. Holloway in the gun. Lion showing pressure. Hill's going to throw a fade right side up to O'Neal. O'Neal caught it. Was he inbounds? He was. Touchdown, Isaiah O'Neal. They throw it up to the 6'1 freshman. He goes up, high points the football, and it's ruled a Cumberland Phoenix touchdown.
He was pushed out of bounds. He wasn't allowed to come down in bounds. That's what the...
And Bob, Florida Memorial has wasted no time. They have already thrown the challenge flag on the field. Cumberland couldn't even celebrate before that flag was thrown by Bobby Rome II, the head coach of the Lions. Just needing at least 1 foot in bounds.
And I think what the call was, did he have a foot in bounds?
And they are going to challenge the play. But
he was not allowed to come down. As he was coming down, he was pushed out. So if that's the case,
still got to have at least 1 foot in, so they'll go and check the monitor that's located in the south end zone here at Noakes Lassiter Field. Right now, it is ruled a touchdown on 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line. It was Luke Holloway to Isaiah O'Neal. It would be Isaiah's second receiving touchdown this year. And the good thing here, Bob, is that it was ruled initially a touchdown.
Yeah,
so they have to have
inconclusive evidence.
They have to have 100% fact that they see that it was not a reception. I don't think the question at all is if he caught it. I think 100% he caught it. The question being, did he get a foot down in bounds?
See, I don't know that he got a foot down in bounds, but I thought as he was coming down, he was pushed out. So
the officials looking it over, and looks like here on the Jumbotron at Noakes Lassiter Field, they're trying to show a replay of it as well. Right now it stands 34-14, lead for the Phoenix.
well, they didn't get a shot of it there.
O'Neal needed just 1 foot in bounds. So after the review, officials making their way back to the field for the call. We'll also hear the train rolling through Lebanon at the same time. I am looking at the reaction from head coach Bobby Rome second. It was not a great one. I'm going to guess this is going to be a Cumberland Phoenix touchdown. Let's hear for sure.
Confirmed, touchdown Phoenix!
Bob, the entire coaching staff for Florida Memorial was out to talk to the officials. They had 3 guys out there, and now just Bobby Rome the second out there speaking with the officials. That call's going to stand. It's a Cumberland Phoenix touchdown. Luke Holloway, his 6th passing touchdown of the season. Had 4 of them at Union a few weeks back.
Well, I don't understand it. The decision's been made. What's the discussion for? You're not going to talk him out of it.
Maybe asking for some recommendations on their trip back home, some spots they should stop and see, or maybe their first time to Nashville, what should we stop and look at?
Or maybe he said, you will not be getting a Christmas card from me this year.
The replay equipment is not working correctly.
Okay.
As a result, the play stands as called. Touchdown.
So there we go. We saw this a couple weeks ago, Bob. Was it Missouri Baptist, I believe?
Yes, it was.
It was Missouri Baptist where they went to go review a call. The equipment was not working properly, and they said it's got to stand as called. So the call is an Isaiah O'Neal touchdown. Jack Cantner to try for point after. It'll be Caleb Folson to snap. Holtzclaw to hold. He put down a heck of a hold there in the first half. Much better snap that time. That kick, it's a low kick, and it is no good. He missed it wide right. So the score will remain 34 for Cumberland, 14 for Florida Memorial. 7:17 to play here in the third quarter. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout on the Cumberland Sports Network.
First here in the second half as Luke Holloway throws a 12-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah O'Neal. The extra point attempt by Jack Cantner is no good. This completes a 8-play, 34-yard drive, time of possession 4 minutes and 11 seconds. So with 7:17 left to go here in the third quarter, it's Cumberland 34, Florida Memorial 14.
Both sides start with punts in the second half, but it's the Cumberland Phoenix offense that marches it down the field and finds the end zone. The 19th career passing touchdown by Luke Holloway as the Cumberland Phoenix. 34-14. Mohamed Mansouré will tee this one up, kicks it to the right side, taken at the 21-yard line by Barthel. Barthel, 25, runs right 30, trying to stretch it out as far as he can, and backpedals his way before he's dropped at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Florida Memorial there. They trail by 20 here in the third quarter.
A 3-and-out right here could do a lot of damage. It doesn't, you know, things just, nothing has seemed to go right for Florida Memorial here since their quarterback has gone down, and with Smith out of the ball game, it's going to be kind of a tough road to travel.
Lions 6-4 a year ago. They went 5-2 in the Sun Conference. Sun Conference, the home of the national champion last year from Kaiser. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. They'll run Wilbon to begin this drive, run right side. Very short game, but as he has all day long, just keeps chugging forward and up to the 39-yard line. A run that should have maybe been a yard or two. He gets 5, and it's 2nd and 5.
Well, he has run the football pretty hard today. 15 rushing attempts for 121 yards and a touchdown.
One of the NAIA's best rushing attacks early this season. They are the 11th best in the nation, 5.7 yards per carry. Like we said, in large part to Walter Wilbon. He's averaging 7.9 himself entering today. On 2nd and 5, Wilbon again. This time follows a blocker to the left side, cuts it up at the 40, 45, and then will be tackled by Boston Follis at the 46-yard line. That'll move the chains. 1st down, Florida Memorial on a 7-yard run by Walter Wilbon. So the Lions, with 6:10 to play, third quarter, trailing by 20, not in as frantic as a pace as they had been in the first half. Trying to align their men. They send 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends in the formation. Wilbon runs right side again. Wilbon spins around, and on the spin move gets popped. Looks like Follis in there again, along with Lance Matthews, the junior out of Davidson Academy. It's 2nd and 8 after the run of 2 by Wilbon.
Did a good job of gang tackling that time, that defensive front.
Bob, they've gone with more of a 2 tight end set here. It looks like they want to maybe put more of an emphasis on running the football. On 2nd and 8, try to go hard count. The Phoenix did not buy it. A 4-man front for Cumberland. On 2nd and 8, here's another run. This time it's George Young. Young makes his way past the 50 and nudges it inside Cumberland territory at the 49-yard line. Pick up a 3, now 3rd and 5. 5 minutes left, third quarter, 34 for Cumberland, 14 for Florida Memorial. They're right back on the football. Snap, they weren't ready for it. Lions, it's a deep throw by Buggs. Left side ball is going to be caught. A leaping grab by Christian Edgerson. He's had 4 grabs for 98 yards this season. He's got a big one there inside the 20, down at the 19-yard line for a gain of 39, or I should say 30, and a stop made by Keon Thrillkill.
Yeah, you got to turn and find the football.
1st and 10. Lions, after the big play, want to get right back on it. The sophomore Buggs with Wilbon to his right. On 1st and 10, fields the snap, give Wilbon run between the tackles, hand in the grass to the 15, and will be stopped at the 14-yard line. Follis in on another tackle. It's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
For those people home listening and can't see this guy run the football, Wilbon is a punishing runner. He hurts a tackler. That's the way he runs the football. It's like when he gets hit, his body goes into convulsions. I mean, he's just every muscle in his body moves to get away.
2nd and 5, Wilbon, another carry, jukes to the right to the 15, bounces outside to the 10, foot race to the 5, and Wilbon makes his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Memorial, a 15-yard touchdown run by Walter Wilbon, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, his 7th of the season. And Florida Memorial has an answer to the Cumberland score, 34-20, 3:48 left third quarter. Drove right down the field with that 2 tight end set. Riding the running game. And they've made it a 2-score game. And now to try to make it a 13-point game, it's Oliver Robbins for the point after. Snaps put down, Robbins' kick is up, and his kick is good. 34 for Cumberland, 21 for the Lions of Florida Memorial. They are not going quietly. 3:48 to play third quarter. Let's take a timeout, a 30-second timeout on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Quarter is Walter Wilbon. Scores on a 14-yard touchdown run. The extra point attempt was good. That completed a 7-play, 66-yard drive. Time of possession 3:29. So with 3:48 left to go in the third quarter, it's Cumberland 34, Florida Memorial 21.
Kickoff to Cumberland will be taken at the 11-yard line by Trayvon Dangerfield. Dangerfield outside to the 20 and lunges forward to the 25-yard line. Tackle on the play will be made by Darius Conley. 1st and 10, Phoenix from their own 25. And Bob, as we just saw, the Lions not going down without a fight. They drive the length of the field, make it a 2-score game again. So this Cumberland offense, can't take any time off here on the back stages after they just took a 3-score lead a moment ago.
Well, like you said, they brought in 2 tight ends. They just went toe-to-toe and played smash-mouth football and drove the ball down the field and scored the touchdown. So now 2-score game, like you said.
Cornejo, the back to begin this drive. He's to the right of Luke Holloway. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. On 1st and 10, Holloway back to pass. Throw right side, caught by Rogers at the 30. Jarius up to the 33-yard line. He is tackled on the play by Devin Essex. A gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2.
I almost thought they were going to jump the route on that pass.
Holloway perfect on the day passing. Pretty good day running the ball, too. 10 carries for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's now 11 of 11. 2nd and 2. Cornejo to the left of Holloway. Snap. Cornejo with the carry. Tries to get outside to the left. Hit, but falls forward past the 35. He's not going to get much of a spot. No. He's still going to get a yard. I don't know how he got away from the man that hit him first. That was Jamal Covington. They got him, but just a gain of 1 for Cornejo.
That's a horrible spot because he got over the 35.
I thought he might have had the 36. 2:40 left, third quarter. 34 for Cumberland, 21 for Florida Memorial. Now Florida Memorial sideline trying to make some noise on 3rd and 1. Snap to Holloway, give Cornejo, cut, hit at the line to gain, and then moves forward to the 36 indeed. That time for sure we know. It's a Cumberland Phoenix first down on a pickup of 2 yards.
Yeah, and that'd be pretty much par for the course right there to just keep grinding that ball straight up the middle and let Cornejo do a little damage.
Cornejo last week against St. Andrews, 17 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 Phoenix, 2 minutes left third quarter. They lead by 13. A receiver to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Holloway in the gun, now motions Hatchett to the left side of the field. Hatchett now comes back to the right. Snap, Luke keeps himself upfield 40. Luke 45, there he goes to the 50.
Watch
out.
Luke
Holloway to the 30, to the 20. High stepping his way to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone.
Woo!
3rd time today for number 3. Touchdown, Luke Holloway. 64 yards.
Wow. 11 carries for 166 yards on the day for that young man.
Just ran away from the Lions defense. Just as we were saying, they can't fall asleep. I think this offense is wide awake.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Cantner for point after missed his last one. Phoenix leading 40-21. That kick is up, and that kick is good. 41-21 the score here in Lebanon. A touchdown by Florida Memorial. Cumberland matches. It's back to a 20-point lead, for the Phoenix. Let's take a 30-second timeout here on the Cumberland Sports Network. (41-21), Cumberland on top with 1:39 to play in the third quarter. Cumberland trying to start 4-0 for the first time since 2017. Cantner out to kick off after the score. He'll boot this one left side of the field. It'll be taken by Grant near the 5-yard line. 10, 15 between the hashes to the 20. 25 and upended by Isaiah O'Neal, the starting wide receiver for the Cumberland Phoenix. The Lions will have it on offense. They went down and scored, but Bob Lee, their defense, gave one right back.
Yes, they did. Luke Holloway scores on a 64-yard touchdown run. Jack Cantner adds the extra point. That completed a 4-play, 75-yard drive. Time of possession, 2:09. So with 1:33 left to go here in the third quarter, it's Cumberland 41, Florida Memorial 21.
Holloway a year ago had 3 games with 2 rushing touchdowns. This one today, 3 scored in this ball game, a career high. 1st and 10, Florida Memorial, now all of a sudden right back down by 20 points. From their own 27, snap low to Buggs, picks it up with one hand, will climb the pocket and run. 25-30, slides right at the feet of Boston Follis, along with Eli Denton. Did not want to take that hit, I understand that. They will mark his progress down at the 34-yard line with a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Lions back on the football with trips to the right, 1 receiver left side. David Buggs, a sophomore quarterback. There's a snap, give, George Young. Young runs left and not much room as he runs into Jalen Brown and Xander Lipscomb at the 36-yard line. Gain of 2, it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Another third down play.
Well, Bob, that quick score, or I should say just not the quick score, but the score by Cumberland kind of takes the Lions a little bit out of their game plan. They had it to a 2-score game, wanting to run the football, and all of a sudden now with less than 30 seconds here in the quarter, really can't just line up and run it as much. They are going to run it here on 3rd and 1. It's a give to Young, and Young is upended by Lipscomb, but this time with his first down up to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 3. But my point being is they're starting to run out of time. They just can't sit there and run it as much as they wanted to.
Because it's going to eat too much time off the clock for that many scores. You're exactly right.
15 seconds left in the quarter. Maybe time for one more play if they can get aligned. On 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Ball on the left hash. Buggs sends the receiver in motion with 4 seconds. Takes the snap. Play action. Buggs climbs away from pressure. Still looks downfield. Will tuck and run. 40, 45, 50, and slides down in Phoenix territory with the first down on the final play of the third quarter. We're off to the 4th. 15 minutes left in this one. The Cumberland Phoenix trying to head into a bye week and into conference action. On a good note, thus far, they lead by 20. They still got to finish the deal here in just a moment after this 30-second timeout on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Cumberland Baseball will hold a Cumberland Baseball family reunion on Sunday, September the 22nd at Woody Hunt Stadium. All former Bulldogs in Phoenix are invited to watch the 2025 Phoenix team scrimmage at 2 p.m., followed by a happy hour with drinks and appetizers, all free of charge at Town Square Social from 5 to 8 p.m. The CU Baseball family reunion, that's Sunday, September the 22nd, Contact Randy Salas at 615-430-9128 for more information.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
That's tomorrow.
Yes.
1st and 10 to begin the fourth quarter of action. Florida Memorial with the football at the Cumberland 49-yard line. They trail the Phoenix by 20. 1st and 10. Bugs drifts back into the shotgun with Walter Wilbon to his left. On first down, they're going to run Wilbon right at the Cumberland defense and bowls his way forward to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 5. You're not going to question the effort of Walter Wilbon ever, I don't believe.
No, he's a dog. He is. He can play.
2nd and 5, Wilbon will line up to the right side of David Bugs. Bugs with 3 interceptions thrown in the first half. On 2nd and 5, Wilbon another carry. He'll try to get this to the left. That ball is poked free, and the Cumberland Phoenix look to be on the bottom of that pile. See if they come away with the football.
42.
They have. That is Lance Matthews that has it. Lance Matthews recovers that free football. 1st and 10, Cumberland. They'll take over from their own 39-yard line, their 4th takeaway of the afternoon. For a team that entered today -2 in turnover differential, they're quickly going to flip that around due to the 3 interceptions in the first half, and there a fumble recovery by Lance Matthews. 1st and 10, Phoenix. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Holloway in the gun, snap. It's Pennell the back in the backfield. Tim with a carry, spinning his way forward, and Pennell with good yardage up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 4 for the back out of Oakland High School. 2nd and 6 for Cumberland. They're going to give him the 44, make it 2nd and 5. A minute into the third quarter, Cumberland 41, Florida Memorial 21, the second ever meeting between the Phoenix and the Lions. Stevens in motion from left to right, snap, it's a handoff, Pennell avoids one tackler, spins away from another.
Nice.
He makes his way past the 45, down to the 47-yard line. Just nifty footwork there by Tim Pennell.
Hit 2 good spin moves in a row right there to get the yardage. I thought he was hit for a loss.
All those running back drills they do with the running backs coach, Sean Henry, paid off there.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
3rd and 2 for Cumberland. They've been in a lot of these short 3rd down tries today. Lions crowding the line of scrimmage. Snap. Holloway give, Pennell run right side, hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Lions weren't having it that time. Stop made by Terry Smith. No gain on the play, 4th and 2, and they're going to send Nolan Gottlieb, it looks like, out to punt as the offense will slowly make their way to the sideline. Looks like they're not fully in on this. Tim Mathis may take a timeout and think about this one.
Yeah, they're going to run the clock all the way down, do something. Maybe not.
Now they're going to rush the punt team out there. So wanted to wait as long as they could, and now with 10 seconds on the play clock, the punt team makes their way out there.
Yeah, they're not going to get it off.
And there's still 5 seconds on the play clock, and then Tim Mathis is going to have to burn a timeout. So timeout on the field with 12 and a half minutes to play. Cumberland on top, 41-21, but getting set to punt it back to the Florida Memorial Lions. Let's take a 30-second timeout and be back here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Twelve minutes, 30 seconds left to play here at Noakes Lassiter Field in Lebanon, Tennessee. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Following the Cumberland timeout, Nolan Gottlieb out to punt for the Phoenix. after not punting a week ago against St. Andrews. He's been called on a few occasions here today. Here takes a snap, going to get away a boomer of a punt. It's going to be fielded at the 6-yard line. In trouble, spinning away, now running to his right to the 10-yard line. It's Grant, and Grant will be stopped at the 14-yard line. That was Caleb Volson, the long snapper, in on the tackle. Also assistance on the play by Stephen Tharp, the redshirt freshman from McGavick.
47-yard punt, 47 on the punt. And got them backed up inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. You've done your job.
We've talked about all these guys we're seeing improvement from Cumberland. Gottlieb is certainly one of those guys, too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Entering today, an improvement of 9 yards per punt. He averages 28.2 per punt a year ago, 37 today, and after today, it's probably going to go up. He's had multiple 40-yard punts. 1st and 10, Lions take over at their own 14-yard line. They trail by 20 with 12:18 to play. Buggs lines up the running back George Young to his left. It's a give to Young to begin the drive, and Young is bottled up for a gain of 1 to maybe 2.
Lipscomb coming in made the tackle.
Lipscomb on the stop to bring up 2nd and 8. He's been in the area of several tackles today.
Well, he came in on the safety blitz that time from the left side.
4th stop today for the sophomore safety. Now on 2nd and 8. Florida Memorial wants to chuck this one deep, and miscommunication between David Buggs and receiver on the right side of the field, Christian Edgerson. He threw it some 20 yards downfield when Edgerson had stopped his route. Incomplete pass, nobody home. It's 3rd and 8 for the Lions from their own 16-yard line. This season, entering today, 50% on 3rd down tries. They were 11 of 22. On 3rd and 8, they set up the screen. Caught by Young. Young to the 20. Young bouncing outside, looking for room. He's going to pick up his first down to the 25, 30, down the sideline to the 40, 45, and will fall down just shy of midfield. It was DeAndre Caldwell that would have made the tackle, but losing his footing, George Young, he picks up big yardage on 3rd and 8, and it's a fresh set of downs on a gain of 34 yards.
All the way down to midfield.
1st and 10 Lions. They hop right back on it, trying to work with some tempo. With 2 receivers either side, they'll run Wilbon on 1st down. Wilbon makes his way forward for a gain of 4 up to the 46-yard line.
You know, I don't think they have any other choice but to have to run the football because they're not effective throwing it right now, and that's the nature of the beast right now. They're going to have to run the football to do anything positive.
Phoenix had to make some substitutions. Now, late getting some men on. That's been a trouble throughout the day with the up-tempo style of this Lions offense. On 2nd and 6, snap back to Buggs. Here comes pressure. Buggs forced out of the pocket. He runs right. He's going to pitch it backwards to Wilbon. Wilbon at the 45, makes a move to the 40, and a hit on the Cumberland sideline up to the 38-yard line. It's going to be a Florida Memorial first down. That is not how they drew that up.
No, not at all.
A scramble play by Buggs, and then just happens to find his senior running back probably 10 yards behind him and pitches it to him. Wilbon makes the move from there and moves the chains. 1st and 10, ball on the right hash of the Cumberland 38-yard line. Approaching 10 minutes to play. Another snap to Buggs. Cumberland sends 4, throw across the middle of the field. It is caught. Caught at the 20 to the 15 and down to the 10-yard line. That was David Studstill.
And for all the bad passes he's thrown today, he threaded the needle right there, right between 2 defenders.
One high, one low, put the ball right between them. And Studstill takes the football down to the 10-yard line. It would be a 28-yard reception. There is a flag down on the near sideline. They say there is no foul on the play, so it will stand as a 28-yard reception. It is going to be 1st and goal from the 10. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Lions with the snap, handoff Wilbon, runs left tackle, Wilbon 5, and just trucks a defender into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Memorial. His 3rd rushing touchdown today, his 8th of the season. And once more, Florida Memorial has an answer with 9:44 to play. It's 41-27. These Lions are not going anywhere.
No, they've still got fight in them, that's for sure.
Down their starting quarterback since the first half. They have lingered around, and this is still a 2-score game. As Robbins comes out to try the extra point. His kick is up. His kick is good. And the score with 9:44 to play left here in Lebanon, 41 for Cumberland, 28 for Florida Memorial. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout and bring it back for more Phoenix football here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Touchdown run, the extra point by Robbins is good. That completed a 7-play, 86-yard drive. Time of possession, just 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So with 9:44 left to go here in the football game, it's Cumberland 41, Florida Memorial 28.
Robbins to kick. A high kick taken by Rogers at the 6-yard line. Runs right to the 15, 20, cuts outside 25, and Rogers will be spun down around the 27-yard line. The Phoenix will take over on offense with 9:36 to play, leading by 13. And Bob Lee, now is the perfect time for a drive.
Yep, they need to put a long, time-consuming drive right now.
Even just a couple first downs, you start to really put the Lions in a tough spot where they get out of what they wanted to do. Minus their starting quarterback, they're wanting to run the football. You take a couple minutes off this clock, you're really putting it into the hands of David Buggs the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that's got to be a tall order for him. So, I mean, they're just pounding the football and being able to score.
1st and 10, Cumberland from their own 27. 4-man front for the Lions. Holloway in the gun, Bryant to his right. Play action, Luke rolls right, throws low and incomplete on the right side. Yeah. Intended for Nate Stevens. That was the first incompletion of the day for Luke Holloway.
And probably one of the better passes he's thrown, simply because it was a smart decision to throw it away and not try to force it in there.
There's nobody open.
Yeah, don't take the sack and just get rid of it.
It does stop the clock. 9:32 left third quarter and brings up 2nd and 10. Caden Hatchett exits the lineup, and Isaiah O'Neal, the receiver who has the touchdown grab today, he'll line up to the left side. Jarius Rogers to the right. On 2nd and 10, Bryant lines up to the left of Holloway. On 2nd down, Holloway will turn. It's a reverse to Stevens outside. He's got a blocker trying to hit the edge. Stevens to the 25 and dropped on a hip-high tackle. A defensive back gets him down quickly, and Darius Conley tried to stretch it as far as they could. Couldn't really get much out of it, and it's now 3rd and 10 for Cumberland. This Florida Memorial side trying to make some noise. They sense they could get the ball back quickly.
They had him strung out too far for him to try to beat him to the sidelines. At that point, you got to plant that foot and cut it upfield.
Empty backfield for Holloway on 3rd and 10. 2 receivers left, 3 receivers to the right. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Now with 8:50 left in the ball game. Cumberland leading by 13. Holloway with the snap. Looks right, back to pass. Surveying the defense, rolls left, still buying time. Now in trouble and will be hit and dropped for a sack. Catching him from behind, Antoine Davis. The sophomore linebacker stuck with the play and forces a 3-and-out by Cumberland, and they will have to punt with 8.5 minutes to play.
Not what you needed on that series.
Give credit to the Lions defense, though. Good coverage on the first play. Second play, they string out that reverse, and on 3rd down, they get to Luke Holloway for the sack. And they're going to get the ball back with less than 8 minutes to play, down by 2 scores. Gottlieb to punt. Barthel to return. Snap to Gottlieb. Gets away a booming kick. Spiral is going to bounce at the 45 to the 40. Takes a Cumberland roll near the 35 and will stop at the 36-yard line. Lions will get it on offense. 7:52 to play. Trailing by 13. They're not out of it yet here at Oaks Lassiter Field.
42 yards on the punt. No return. So defense going to have to make a stand right here and slow down this running game.
Bob still with all 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning this year in college football. Lions with that 3 and out, they are not out of their game plan yet. They can still run the football a bit if they would like.
You're exactly right. It's still less than 14 points. So, I mean, it's a 2-score possession. So,
well, and they have that tempo in their DNA. They get back to the ball as quickly as they can. 1st and 10, Lions have it from their own 36-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now they motion a man to the right side. Snap to Buggs, hands off. Young with the carry. Young is limited on the run to just 2. Mason Bailey in on a stop. The redshirt freshman has the tackle to bring up 2nd and 8. Those are the ones you're A-OK with for Cumberland. Short gain, and that clock continues to run.
Can't lose containment. You can't let somebody behind you.
On 2nd and 8 with 7.5 minutes to play. Another man in motion to the right side. Snap to Buggs. He looks to throw. 5-man rush. Throw left side. That is caught on a diving grab by Studstill. Right at his line to gain. No signal just yet, and now they are going to move the chains. 1st down, Florida Memorial on an 8-yard pickup. He has been a reliable target today for both quarterbacks for Florida Memorial. Studstill now 6 receptions for 81 yards. 1st and 10 Lions. Snap, give, Young running left, following blockers upfield, and tackled at the 49-yard line. Looks like Joey Samples in there on another tackle. It's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. 6:40 and counting in the 4th quarter. Cumberland 41, Florida Memorial 28. Trips to the right, Buggs back to pass, takes a low snap. Looking, rolls left. He's got some room to run now. Heaves downfield, got a man. It is caught at the 25 to the 20 and down on the left sideline. It is going to be a Florida Memorial 1st down, and who else? It's David Studstill again.
Yeah, it's just, and he did a good job because the quarterback Buggs, he ran out of real estate to try to rush the football. He stopped, and when he did and reversed his field, the receiver headed down on a fly route, and there he was open.
31 yards, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Snap, play action, Buggs to throw, right side, caught at the 10, running upfield to the 5, hits a defender and makes his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Memorial. Markel Lee has his first touchdown grab of the season, and just like that, it's a 1-score game with 5:56 to play.
Yep, all the momentum swung to the other side of the field right now.
Things have changed in a hurry here at Noakes Lassiter Field. Robbins on for point after. It is now a 6-point contest between the Phoenix and the Lions. 41 for Cumberland, 35 for Florida Memorial. It is a shootout here in Lebanon. Let's just keep it right here on the Cumberland Sports Network.
Well, David Buggs pass complete to Markel Lee for the 15-yard touchdown. Oliver Robbins adds the extra point. That completed a 5-play, 64-yard drive. But the key, the time possession, only 1:56. So with 5:56 left to go in the football game, it's Cumberland 41, Florida Memorial 35.
What a response we have seen from the sophomore backup, David Buggs, through 3 first-half interceptions. Since then has taken care of the football and has gotten his team back within striking distance, and all of a sudden now the attention turns to the Cumberland offense. They've got to find some kind of response.
Yeah, needless to say, he has settled down.
Robbins to kick for Florida Memorial. Rogers and Dangerfield at their own 5-yard line to return. This kick angling to the left. Rogers will let it bounce, and it's going to make its way into the end zone for a touchback. Rogers thought he could get a few extra yards if that went out of bounds, but it goes into the end zone, touchback, and Cumberland will have it 1st and 10, 5:56 to play in the 4th quarter. They lead Florida Memorial 41-35, and the Phoenix trying to get to 4-0 to begin the 2024 season.
You know, well, of course, every drive right now is key, but, I mean, they've got to get a good drive right here, burn some time off the clock, but if nothing else, we got to flip the field.
They're going to go with Jacob Cornejo, the freshman running back on this drive, which will begin at their own 25-yard line. Receiver to the right, receiver to the left. too tight on the left side of the offensive line. On 1st and 10, Holloway in the gun, takes the snap, give Cornejo, tries to bounce it to the left, stiff arms his way to the 25, outside to the 30. Cornejo punishes the defender on the sideline and moves forward right at his line to gain. It's a Cumberland Phoenix first down.
He's a beast. He is a beast.
Jacob Cornejo, 5,500 yards in the last 2 years at the high school level. Oh man, he made that defender pay the price. Now 38 yards on 10 carries. It's 1st and 10 Cumberland, and that clock continues to count with 5:25 left to play in the fourth. He stays in the backfield to the right of Luke Holloway. On 1st and 10 from the 35. Holloway give Cornejo, runs between the tackles. Not as much room this time. He'll be upended at the 38-yard line with a gain of 3. Stop made on the play by Ja'Kai Linwood. And now whistles. And we're going to have a timeout by Florida Memorial. So timeout by the Lions with exactly 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Timeout on the field. Let's take one as well. Here on the Cumberland Sports Network, we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Phoenix football. Back inside the broadcast booth at Noakes Lassiter Field. Christian Capozzi, Bob Lee with you. We're in the fourth quarter of this matchup between Florida Memorial and Cumberland. The Lions take a timeout to stop the clock, and they've actually added a few seconds. 5:07 now to play in the fourth quarter. It is 2nd and 7 for Cumberland. Holloway in the gun. Lions showing pressure along the line of scrimmage. They motion Hatchett to the right, now back to the left. Jet sweep, Hatchett cuts up field. Hatchett to the 40. Caden will be tackled a yard shy of his line to gain. Stop made on the near side by Terry Smith. It'll be 3rd and short as we dip below 5 minutes to play here in Lebanon.
I didn't understand why he kept the clock running. It looked like he was clearly out of bounds. They walked up and kept the clock. Cranking the clock.
They didn't get much of a spot either. They go back to the 43. It'll be 3rd and 2. The Lions loading the box. They have 9 men inside the tackles. On 3rd and 2, Cornejo lines up to the right of Luke Holloway. On 3rd and short, snap. Luke gives Cornejo. There he goes to the 50. Bye-bye, Jacob Cornejo. 30, 20, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Jacob Cornejo. They sell out to try to stop the freshman. They can't. He goes to the house, and the Phoenix back up by 2 scores.
And that's going to put him over 100 yards on the day.
Right through the line of defense. And, Bob, when you try to go all out like that, if he gets through the first line, he's gone.
Yeah, when you bring everybody up in the box, you don't have very far to go once you get through the first level of defense. You're right. There's nobody to help.
57-yard touchdown run by Jacob Cornejo. Cantor out to try for point after. His kick is up. His kick is no good. Missed it wide right. And the score will remain 47 for Cumberland, 35 for Florida Memorial. 4:17 to play and a little breathing room for the Phoenix. Let's take a 30-second timeout and bring it back for more Phoenix football. An exciting ball game here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Back and forth we go here at Noakes Lassiter Field. The Cumberland Phoenix have held a lead the entire second half. And now up 47-35 with 4:17 left in this one. Jack Cantner to kick off after the Cornejo touchdown. He sends it left side of the field, taken in by Grant at the 8-yard line. Runs left to the 15, to the 20. He ran into his own teammate who brings him down. He tried, I believe it was a reverse to Dixon, and Dixon went in front of him and collided right with the returner.
Hardway just knocked him into it.
Bob, the way he was running, I would assume that had to be some kind of reverse.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because as soon as he was like he was headed straight up the middle of the field, and then he broke it off to the left, perhaps for the reverse. But that last touchdown now by Cumberland, Jacob Cornejo, 57 yards for the touchdown run. Cantner's extra point is no good. That completed a 4-play, 75-yard drive, time of possession, 1:39. So with 4:12 left to go here in the football game, it's your Cumberland Phoenix 47, Florida Memorial 35.
The second kickoff return snafu today by the Lions. The first one back in the first half where they just dove for the kickoff and they caught it at the 15-yard line.
That's just a bad sight.
As an injury from where they ran into one another, we'll wait to see. Still haven't spotted the number just yet, and it is the man that ran into him. It is Murray Dixon. Dixon, the one that ran into Jordan Grant. And he'll have to be helped off the field.
He's not putting any weight on that foot at all.
47 for Cumberland, 35 for Florida Memorial. This Lions offense has tried to keep them in it, but every time they get a little closer, the Phoenix on their offense have had a response. 1st and 10, Lions from their own 16-yard line. 2 receivers either side. David Buggs calls for the snap, looks right, throws right side. Brought in by Markel Lee, and Lee is popped on the boundary by Keon Thrillkill. Gain up to the 22-yard line of 6 at 2nd and 4. Now less than 4 minutes to play here in Lebanon. Cumberland playing in their final non-conference matchup of the year. Trips to the left, receiver to the right. Buggs right back on the football. He'll catch the snap, throws left side. It's Wilbon in the flat. Wilbon 25. Wilbon has his first down. He'll be slung down by Boston Follis along with Dangerfield. It is 1st and 10 Lions at their 28. Now 3.5 minutes to play. Cumberland leading by 12. Lions operate without a huddle as they've done all day. On 1st and 10, back to pass Buggs. Heaves this one downfield, middle of the defense. It's incomplete. Overshot Jalen Holly. There were 2 Cumberland defenders there to make the play if that one was catchable for Holly.
Yeah, they're begging for the call there for the pass interference, but it just wasn't there.
This Cumberland defense with 3 interceptions in the first half. It's the first time Cumberland has intercepted 3 passes in a game since 2019. Lions have taken better care of the football in the second half, but still down by 12. On 2nd and 10, Buggs back to pass again, has time. Quick shot left side. It's stood still again. The senior tiptoes the sideline and brings it inside Cumberland territory down to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Florida Memorial, 23 yards on the reception.
Clock's still going, too. Wow.
Stud still has had a day. Now less than 3 minutes to play. 2 receivers either side on 1st and 10. Looking to go deep. They throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Off the hands of DeMarcus Brown with a flag down around the line of scrimmage. Bob, I have this note about DeMarcus Brown. This isn't going to be great. The freshman out of Mount Pleasant was a all-region wide receiver. Didn't look like it on that one where he had a chance to catch it.
No. But he had to go awful high up for that football.
A penalty called against the Lions will back it up after the incomplete pass. A high one at that by David Buggs. So back from the Cumberland 49, they spot it at the Florida Memorial 42-yard line. on 1st and long. Bugs back to pass, rolls right. They'll set up the screen left side. Caught by one, handed Wilbon. Wilbon 50 to the 45, and Wilbon just trucks his way forward down to the 40-yard line. Thrill Kill and Lance Matthews make the stop, but it's going to be 2nd and 2 after 1st and 20.
Wilbon is a load to try to bring down, that's for sure, especially when he gets ahead of steam.
2.5 minutes to play. Lions operating in a frenzy with trips to the right side on 2nd and 2. Back to pass. Bugs. The Phoenix send forward. Deep pass down the right side. Ball is caught on the sideline, and they rule it's incomplete. Ball was brought in by Markel Lee.
Clock still running.
So now they stop it at 2:10.
Should be about 2:15.
It is ruled an incomplete pass, and we remind you they've already tried to challenge one today, and the replay system was not operating correctly. Now they have added time back to the clock. Now 2:14 showing on the 4th quarter clock. 3rd and 2 for Florida Memorial. Officials trying to make sure everything's set after the incomplete pass. 3rd and 2 from the Cumberland 40-yard line. Wilbon to the right of David Bugs in the shotgun. Needing to move the chains. Cumberland showing pressure. The Lions see Cannon Johnson, the safety, inching up. Little snap give, Wilbon. Wilbon has his first down as he'll be swung down past the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Tackle will be credited to Eli Denton, the sophomore out of Walker Valley High School.
That'll get them to the 2-minute warning.
Indeed, we have hit the 2-minute warning here at Noakes Lassiter Field. The Lions trying one last time to draw a little closer within the Cumberland Phoenix. They trail Cumberland 47-35 as we have reached the 2-minute warning here on the Cumberland Sports Network. Let's take a 30-second timeout and be back in just a moment. Cumberland trying to get this one to the finish line, leading 47-35 with 2 minutes to play at home against the Florida Memorial Lions. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee. Lions with possession of the football at the Cumberland 35-yard line, down by 12. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Bugs calls for the snap. Phoenix in 4. Quick throw right side on a screen, caught by Markel Lee. It is a very short gain, a 1-yard pickup, and that clock will continue to roll as they hit Lee. And now trying to get everything set. A lot of time coming off the clock. 15 seconds already on just that one play.
They really sniffed that play out, saw the middle screen coming.
1:35 remaining. Cumberland trying to get set for 2nd and 9. Snap back to Bugs. Bugs looks, throws across the middle. Ball bounces up in the air. Ball is going to be caught. Caught by the Florida Memorial Lions. It's Markel Lee on the tip play. It went off the helmet of David Studstill, flying in the air. And right place, right time, Markel Lee hauls it in and moves the chains on a first down, but Studstill is slow to get up. What a wacky reception of 10 yards up to the 24-yard line. Bob, I think that went off the helmet of Studstill and ricocheted directly into the air, right into the hands of Markel Lee.
It's like the immaculate reception that Franco Harris had back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, it was off the helmet and caught by another receiver. Not something you're going to see every game.
Studstill able to make his way up. I think he's trying to get into the huddle, and they're going to say you have to check out for a play.
They've still left.
This has been a kind of a rough day for Florida Memorial. They have suffered quite a few injuries.
Yes, they have.
I mean, one of the most notable ones, their starting quarterback, Sedquan Smith, who entered today, 73% passing, 378 yards and a touchdown. But he has been out of the lineup since the first half.
And, you know, now just if you look at the stats, they've had the ball 14 more plays than we have offensively. and they've got over 100 yards more than we do.
So after the stoppage, they wind the clock, 1:20 counting left. Cumberland leading by 12. 1st and 10, Florida Memorial from the Phoenix 24. Slant pass caught left side at the 17-yard line of the Phoenix, and now there are multiple guys laying all over the field. That reception was made by Studstill. 2nd and 7, or I should say 2nd and 3 after a gain of 7. With 1 minute to play, Buggs back to pass, looks to climb, now rolling left, still looking, backpedaling, heaves it left side and out of bounds. An incomplete pass. That stops the clock with 52 seconds left. Bob, I would like to know, after that stoppage now, they did not charge either team a timeout.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, and they never came on the mic to say what the stoppage was about.
Well, I think we had an injured player is the reason.
That should have been a timeout for either team with less than 2 to play. And if it was Studstill, he was down.
Yeah.
Studstill made the catch on the next play.
Yeah, that's true.
So not exactly sure what happened there. I do know it is 3rd and 3 for the Lions at the Cumberland 16-yard line. They trail 47-35, 52 seconds to play. Snap to Buggs, but this one is blown dead, and Tim Mathis will call for time. Timeout Cumberland. The second one they have used this half. They have one remaining with 52 seconds left, and the Phoenix leading Florida Memorial 47-35.
Well, a few more of our corporate sponsors for the 2024 football season we'd like to recognize. Sinorama, Lee Company, Wilson Emergency Management Agency, Franklin Family Eye Care, and Bill Potter Realty. Also worth mentioning here, the Cumberland Women's Soccer will be playing the 24th ranked Georgia Gwinnett this afternoon at Lindsey Donald Stadium. That underway right now. It started at 3 o'clock. This is the 5th ranked match early in the season. The team is ranked 8th in the latest NAIA Top 25 poll with a 7-1 start.
3rd and 3 upcoming. Bob Lee, David Buggs, the backup quarterback for Florida Memorial in the second half. After throwing those 3 first-half INTs, he is 13 of 18 passing, 231 yards and a touchdown. He has given this Lions team a shot, but now they're down to their last couple tries. It's 3rd and 3 from the Cumberland 16. 3 receivers to the right, receiver to the left. Low snap, Buggs takes it in. Pressure by Cumberland, lofts a pass into the end zone, incomplete. But now a late flag flies back behind the quarterback. They may have hit Buggs late. It would be 4th and 3 after the pass that was intended for Studstill. Let's get the call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Oh, you hate to see that.
They get Jalen Brown, the senior, with the penalty. You were going to bring up 4th and 3, and now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Lions from the Cumberland 8-yard line. They are still in this. A 12-point lead for the Phoenix. 48 seconds to play. Buggs takes the snap. Cumberland sends 5. Buggs climbs, throws. That one's going to go through the uprights. Incomplete. Nobody open and just eats that one.
Just a little high.
I believe they're going to say the intended target was Christian Edgerson. I'm not sure if Buggs was completely out of the pocket or not. There could be a very slight question of grounding or not on that one. But instead, we'll prepare ourselves for 2nd and goal. Snap back to Buggs. Cumberland pressure again. They screen it right side. Open Wilbon. Wilbon 5 cuts upfield and into the end zone. Touchdown. But there are multiple markers1 at the 5-yard line. Wilbon's grab could have made this a 1-score game and would have been his 4th touchdown today. But it seems as if this may not count.
We'll come back on a hold here.
Holding. Offense. Number 57. 10-yard penalty from Swallow foul.
57 is Justin Mack, the right tackle for the Lions. That wipes away a touchdown, and from the spot of the foul, they move it to the 13-yard line.
Correction, replay first down.
So the holding from the 3 back to the 13. They say it's first down. It should be 2nd down. They are going to call it 1st and goal. They have certainly already ran a play on this set of downs. with 36 seconds left. Bugs back to pass. Has time. Throws across the middle. In traffic. It is batted down. Incomplete. All kind of players in the middle of the field. Boston Follis, the one that broke the pass up on a pass intended for David Studstill. He is their go-to guy in the passing game. 10 receptions, 156 yards, and a touchdown today. And he is slow to get back up on his feet. He has been beat up this afternoon.
He's not in a hurry to get off the field there.
Clock stop, 30 seconds to play. Scoreboard showing the Lions with 2 timeouts remaining. They trail 47-35. Second and goal from the 13. Bugs back to pass. 5-step drop. In trouble. Gets away, and now he is brought down. Kane Burnley again. Back for the sack, and timeout taken by Florida Memorial to stop the clock with 22 seconds to play. Kane Burnley, have yourself a day. Had the pick 6 in the first half, part of a special teams player 2, and there records his first sack of the season. It's third and goal from the 20-yard line with 22 seconds left.
Well, you got 2 shots here.
That timeout used by Florida Memorial, now just with 1 remaining. Kane Burnley, I would say kind of going out on a limb, but I feel pretty good about it. The best game of his career. The pick 6 in the first half. He records the sack there. He has been all over the field today for the Cumberland Phoenix.
He's been like Sanois Fair. He's everywhere.
He's got 3 tackles, a tackle for loss, a sack, and that 44-yard pick 6. Pretty good. They have
pretty good stat line. Yeah.
They have added a second back to the game clock. 23 seconds left, fourth quarter. It is third and goal from the 20-yard line. Lions will go 5 wide. With 1 timeout remaining, 23 seconds to play, they trail Cumberland 47-35. Phoenix trying to get this to the end to start 4-0 in a season for the first time since 2017. What a way to go into a bye week and also begin Mid-South Conference play. Officials having a brief conversation over the football following the Florida Memorial timeout. On what has been a warm afternoon here at Noakes Lassiter Field. These fans haven't gone anywhere, Bob Lee. They've been treated to quite the ball game.
Yeah,
especially those that like points.
Yes, and the Florida Memorial faithful over there.
82 total points scored today. Now we have a full-blown conversation amongst the officials. I wonder if this is a question about how many timeouts Florida Memorial has. Because there's been some things today that have not been registered via the PA mic from the official on the field. And now possibly, too, what down it is. Yeah. Bob, remember the throwaway on first and goal?
Yes.
And then they had the hole that took the touchdown back. They showed that it was first and goal from the 13. That's where you and I were saying it should be second and goal. They have played this down. It's showing third down right now, but all along I think we've kind of known it should be fourth down. So they have gone over and had a discussion with Bobby Rome II, head coach for the Florida Memorial Lions. Wonder if we'll get an explanation here. Clock stop, 23 seconds to play. All of a sudden we've come to a standstill. And they're asking the offense to step back while they have this discussion.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to tell them it's fourth down now. And
which at the same time you would understand the frustration by Florida Memorial.
Absolutely.
They have gone by what has been on the down marker ever since, and they're going to say it's fourth down.
Yeah, I had to say if I knew it was fourth down, I'd have called a different play last play.
So all of a sudden now the Lions are down to their final play. It's fourth and goal from the 20-yard line. 23 seconds left. Cumberland 47, Florida Memorial 35. Ball on the right hash of the Phoenix 20-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, receiver to the right side. Walter Wilbon, the back to the left of David Buggs. On 4th and goal, snap to Buggs, 5-step drop,
There
looks
he
left,
is.
has a man
Nobody.
wide open left side, but it is incomplete. A break on the ball by Keon Thrillkill to break it away. He wished he had an INT, but end of the day, Bob Lee, it's an incomplete pass. Turnover on downs, and the Cumberland Phoenix are going to start 4-0 for the first time since 2017.
He just about had a 99-yard pick six.
Bob Buggs saw what I saw to begin with. The tight end
Had the
rolling
wheel.
left side. Henry Calixtai, the tight end, was wide open on the left side, but just took too long to get that ball to him.
Yep, had him open on the wheel route.
47-35, Cumberland gets the ball back up by 12. A play or two, depending on if the Lions decide to take a timeout or not. And the Cumberland Phoenix can take this one to the house. Holloway under center. Victory formation, takes a step back. A yard or two minus on the excellent rushing performance that Luke Holloway has had today, but it is well worth it. The Cumberland Phoenix tested throughout. Had a little bit of fight given back to him today by the Florida Memorial Lions, but stuck with it, sticks it out, and the Cumberland Phoenix with a 47-35 win here at home. Perfect through a month to begin the 2024 season. First time since 2017 they begin a year at 4-0. And they will head to the bye week quite happy and prepare themselves for the gauntlet of the Mid-South Conference, 6 in a row the rest of the way. But you can do that with a smile on your face, starting 4-0.
And a good opportunity to get some guys back. You got a few that are injured that it didn't take part today. Could have, but was a smart idea to hold them out. And you got some others that will be able to get back before that game with Campbellsville.
Fun ball game here today at Noakes Lassiter Field. Even more fun that the Phoenix come away with a win. 47-35, your final score here today in Lebanon. Let's step aside for a 3-minute timeout. We'll hear from a few of our sponsors and then bring it back. We'll have some post-game statistics. We'll catch up with head coach Tim Mathis to get his thoughts on today's performance. And we'll wrap this one up. Once again, your final score today from Noakes Lassiter Field. Cumberland 47-35 for Florida Memorial. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the Cumberland Sports Network. The Cumberland Phoenix defeat the Florida Memorial Lions here at Noakes-Lassiter Field. I'm Christian Capozzi alongside Bob Lee. The second meeting between the Phoenix and the Lions sure was a fun one. Cumberland starts the year at 4-0 overall. The Lions fall to 1-1-1 on this 2024 campaign. Bob Lee, entertaining ball game. I'm sure there's going to be some aspects of it where I guess last week with the win, it was the offensive side of things. The turnovers were certainly a point of